Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and Tangent a lot.
A lot.
Today, I'm joined by Gustav the 13th.
I have become Goose once more. Free me from this hell. Ah!
Oh my gosh. Goose is loose. And I'm joined by GamingEmblem.
I'm a little dressed down this week, but always good to be here.
And today, I'm Magnum Reeves.
How close are we? Magnum Reeves.
I will say though, just on a side note, real quick, the just doing the hair here. I'll mute. I hate having the hair like over my ears with the headset at the same time.
Oh god.
Like it's kind of annoying, and also having to have the gel to hold it in place right now is kind of also slightly annoying.
Well, it's also depending on how long you've had it like that too. Like, is it starting to wear?
Pretty much I washed my hair this morning because I had to go to town and do stuff, and so I woke up with like bedhead gel hair, so everything was all crazy directions. And I was just like, well,
on your pillow.
Can I brush this? And I'm like, nope, that's not gonna happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I remember when I was a wee goose, I used to use hair gel a lot. So like, I know what that's like.
Anybody who actually styles their hair like every morning, I'm now like, how?
Yeah, I don't know why I did it either, to be honest. Should just cut my shit more.
Yeah, so
my brother was big about that in high school.
I'm kind of thinking about just doing some more stuff just because I got long hair right now. So I'm like, if my hair is long, I might as well try to actually style it. So I guess I need to find a.
That's a fair cut.
Wow. What? I am derping so hard right now. This is how much I actually do this stuff. Hair dryer. There we go. Oh my gosh. Wow.
My terminology. You just had to file through the old dictionary real quick.
Blows air at things and
like this. This is
thing that breathes on you.
This is where if I edited, this would be like it would just zoom in on my face and be like Magnum.exe has stopped working. Oh my gosh.
Just get the dial-up noise coming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so how's your guys' past week? Oh man. Gustav?
It's been good. Still trying to go through 4. We're actually almost to the finale now, like legitimately. Kiryu actually had a lot more stuff to go than I thought. So we got through a good amount of it the other day, but we still have several more, because I was looking up his sub stories the other day, and I was like, okay, maybe like one more episode and then we can just like bite the bullet and do it, and then we'll be on the 5. Besides that, still trying to hang out at home. The Game Awards are also today, so woke up to like a fucking shitstorm on Twitter. Jesus Christ. Been trying to catch up with that while I was getting ready.
Yeah, I don't really do Twitter much myself, so my Twitter game's pretty weak. Like what kind of stuff was just everybody posting stuff or what?
Oh yeah, just reactions, because people live tweet, and then on top of that, there's a bunch of people co-streaming it on Twitch as well. So people are doing not only live tweets, but clips of their live streams as live tweets. So it's getting weird out there.
Yeah, I was gonna try to co-stream it, but I forgot.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't actually put it on a calendar. Oops.
I figured I was just gonna miss it because my sleep schedule is just too fucked to be up when that started.
Yeah, I was up at
the sacrifices the man makes for content.
Oof.
6 a.m. Woo! I got like 3 hours of sleep. That's why I ended up taking a nap here earlier.
When you had to forsake other content for the sake of the content.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just like, I decided, I was like, okay, I can lay down for 30 minutes. It'll be okay. 2 hours later, I was like, okay, well, I guess I needed 2 hours. Oops.
Like, if anything, it's a good thing that it was happening during like US prime time, because I bet a bunch of people that were doing Cyberpunk last night were probably like, ugh, after they were done.
Yeah, I've been thinking about even tonight doing like an all-nighter, and I'm like, no, sleep schedule.
Let's not break it so quick.
Yeah, let's like I'm going good. I'm waking up,
Schedule.
exercising, eat breakfast, and then start day, get stuff done, and we're going good right now. Next week it'll be broke.
Oh god. Yeah, I had it for like a little bit, and then it all went to shit like weeks ago. I was like, oh boy.
Gustav, I want to say I caught bits and pieces of your most recent Yakuza 4 play.
Mhm.
That kind of came out wrong, but
Yeah, it did.
anyway,
I wasn't gonna go there, but like
Phrasing.
It was tough to ignore. I'm glad you
but
acknowledge it.
speaking of foreplay,
Can we
the
bring
way
back
that
phrasing?
Saejima trains his various tiger printed lads seems very interesting. I feel like half the time you were busy breaking
Beating
all
the
of the
dog
teeth in her
shit out
mouth.
of yes.
Yeah.
How many more teeth must I take from you until you learn?
What?
Oh
And
god.
the worst part is like they like get one-handedly murdered by Saejima and are like, thanks for the spar, and like their trust and mood go up. I was like, damn man, they don't have any
Oh my
teeth left.
gosh! Like, okay, wait, real quick. Which one was made first? That or when did that come out?
That was in 2010.
Oh my gosh, that's where Kojima got that for Metal Gear Solid 5, probably.
Oh, like
Was
beating
that?
the shit out of them for
Yeah,
training?
because you're just like you walk up and they're like,
Thank
boss,
you, sir. That's right. Yeah.
boss, we need more boss. I love just the random things that are like if you walk away just barely, they'll be like, boss, we need more, and then you just step away and then take one step back, boss.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? We need more boss. Okay, punch,
Hey,
and then
bam,
just
bam,
yeah, then you just beat him to death. They're like, thank you,
Salute.
boss.
bam.
Thanks for the
It's
training,
true.
boss. It's like I just beat you to death. That's not training.
That's another game that I actually want to really get through one day on stream because I started it up a little bit because I got it for PC a while ago, and I just never touched it again. But that'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, my problem is I played the crap out of it, so it's just like I probably have somewhere around 100 to 200 hours probably in that game.
Yeah, damn.
And yeah, at this point, it's just like I would just be doing it just for the content randomly. Like that would be like
Right.
some kind of stretch goal thing to actually stream that if I did that again. But yeah, good game. I can highly recommend it.
It's fun. I don't. The only problem I have is that like the parts to the story that didn't get in
Yeah.
would have been nice. Like it'd have been nice if it was a finished game, but it's still pretty good for what it is.
See, I'm good. It's gonna, you know what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna try to stream that, and then there's gonna be an announcement of there being a completed version somehow, and I'm gonna be
It's been
like
out for a while.
too early for the party.
Oh yeah,
because you know what I'm saying. Because I did that for Death Stranding. My stupid ass was doing it on PlayStation because I was like, oh, it's just gonna be on this, and it's like, no, there's a PC release. What? So like half of the people that were watching me were watching it because they wanted to know if it was worth getting once the PC release actually happened. So I fucked up, but I also dodged a bullet because it was still relevant at the time.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I remember there was some people who didn't want spoilers because that was one that I got day one because I was pretty hyped about getting into the nonsense of walking nonstop. And yeah, so it was funny though. There'd be some people who were like, "So, are you having fun?" That was the most common thing that I got, and I'm like, "Yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty cool." You know, having to sit through an entire movie's worth of talking though, literally at the end is kind of annoying, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've griped about that back when I was actually doing the playthrough, but like the opening half was cool, the middle was really good, and then once they started to try to hurry you towards the end, it's just got annoying.
Yeah.
But then they let it open back up again, and then you can just kind of do what you were always doing. So
Yeah, I got back on that for some reason.
Oh, you wanted to see what it was gonna look like.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So there was somebody who said something about a thing. Anyway, I got back on it just to check to see what's going on, and like
Mhm.
the amount of random stuff that's just there and not there, and then like all the like beaten paths that are there now, it's kind of interesting. Like there's a lot of like I could just go anywhere I wanted to, kind of. You know, like the rocky area around the river, kind of. You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Toward where the weather station is.
Mhm.
Like that was just open. There was like almost no rocks, and I could just drive through.
It
And I
just
was
got
like,
mushed over.
I was like,
Nice.
this is amazing. I could take a truck through this. So
It's almost like it should have
Truck-coon
just
through
been
yeah,
this.
that
no,
way.
for real though. That was the whole Truck Coon Chronicles, man.
Yeah,
I also
getting through those
I
fucking
also got that
rocks.
emote finally propped out and stuff too.
Yeah.
So Truck Coon is a thing now. Woot.
Jakun needs to have like an Ugu face or something. Just ooh.
For real. Kind of like how Shield Senpai looks.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay, so I need to get
We
on
need to
that.
do a revision, but
Yep, need to do a revision.
for the time being, Jakun is alive and well.
Yeah, if somebody has that I could probably find it in like 2 seconds, but yeah, I'm being lazy. Anyway,
Yeah, I know when I posted the first image of Shield Senpai, it didn't have a face, and Bio like animated it in like seconds. So I mean,
wait, bio.
um,
Okay, I need
Bio?
to.
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
We
message
may
bio. I'm like,
you might feel pretty
we
easy.
may have to start throwing money at Bio.
you're like bio. Can you hook me up, man? Everybody gets one.
Yeah. You just have to know where to look, and then it's just all up to your copy paste skills.
but but yeah. So tangent. I was like, how did we get on
We
that?
mentioned that
Where
we
were we?
tangents.
Hey, I just changed my topic off of tangent.
We are just, you know what?
so
At this
so
point,
Gustav,
as
is
a,
that
it's
is that
just,
is that your week? Oh yeah, we tangented off of 4 and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's because you said the thing and I was like, yeah. But real quick, Metal Gear Solid 5, the reason why I love it, I can't help but not mention this. Um it's pretty much what I've been wanting for a long time for Mercenaries to come back in some form. It was that whole like calling in whatever you need at the time and just getting a thing and doing what you want.
Oh, I was like mercenaries, but the serious mercenaries. Okay.
Yeah.
Magnum Bio's ready to help.
Woo.
Bio.
But yeah, Mercenaries was one of my favorite games, and then Mercenaries 2 was sad. Really sad.
Yeah. But it had a really funny trailer.
Yeah, and I know the entire song. Oh no, you did.
You didn't. Let's
Suck to
go.
try to play me, but you never paid me, never.
Oh god, no, we're getting deeper into the rabbit hole, you guys.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But
Yeah, calm down, Magnum. We're getting DC.
Emblem.
Anyway,
Emblem. Your week. Go. Yeah.
so far so good. Just a lot of practice on Battle Op. More than anything else, honestly. I definitely think my ability has gotten better. Like I I still need to work on aim, but you know, when things kind of click, I feel like my in match judgment has gotten a lot stronger. My competency as like a raid is better. Like I'm kind of just like I'm throwing myself to death a little bit less and playing a little bit smarter. Um, and I will say like I don't I still stand by the PlayStation 5 isn't gonna like make you vastly superior or like have a crazy advantage over like everyone else, but you know, I do think it helps out a little bit. Because I do feel like there were things that I wasn't getting away with before that, and it might just be a placebo effect from practice that that get handled a lot better now. Like
Mm.
I'm able to casually sidestep more or stuff like that.
I mean, that's kind
So
of a frame
it's pretty
thing,
neat.
Yeah, I was
probably.
gonna say
Maybe.
it's
Because
nice that
that's
you can
like,
actually see the frames happening now.
yeah, so that's the thing. Like going from like if you're doing a lot of FPS games, like going
Mhm.
from like 60 FPS monitor to 144 like FPS monitor, you'll actually notice a little bit of difference in just performance in just the frame. Like for instance, right now where I'm playing Cyberpunk, like my ability to actually punch the thing in front of me because I had the graphics on medium and had to turn them down to low, like literally went from like I missed, I missed because I'm like over aiming kind of thing because there's a little bit of frame lag, and then I put it on low and it's like it's still frame lag, but I'm actually able to more accurately aim. So normally aim does get affected by frames.
Yeah,
But
frames
I
affect
gotcha.
spatial awareness and stuff like that because you're
Yeah, I mean,
literally
in that
not
regard.
seeing certain moments of things happening.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then in that regard, like I can definitely notice that a little bit. Um and there most of the time most of the time it's the same, but in the cases where like I get away with it because of it, it helps out a lot more. So
Mm.
everyone go sit outside of your local store for 8 hours
That's
and
right.
get a PlayStation 5 today.
Like, if we're being
But
frank, that's pretty much the only way you guys are gonna get this shit at this point.
that's
Maybe
you ain't
once you pass
lying.
holidays, it's gonna be different, but no. You have to go to your local RonaCon and just hang out outside and try to get your shit.
I wasn't
yeah,
expecting to get mine at Fred Meyer, honestly. Like,
I mean you got to go to these
that's
random places if you really want to get
yeah,
them.
you're not wrong because everyone else is at Walmart and stuff like that. But who's like Fred Meyer? What the heck is that?
Well, I mean, it's like I don't even know what the place was. I just was typing in Google, like when I was searching my laptop when I first got it. Was typing in Google and it randomly brought up like this clothing store. And I was like,
For PlayStation 5s?
no. This was this when I bought my laptop.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I was like searching for it because it had pretty much the best processor that was in laptops at the time. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, this is literally like the number one laptop processor right now. And it's the laptop was close to 1,000 on like Newegg. I was like, okay, well let's just see. And I was like, wait, what? $800 on this random clothing store? Is this sketch? Seems pretty sus. Uh, okay, we'll try. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna do it. So I did, and it was the actual laptop. It was random though. I guess they just got randomly. I don't know
And it
how
was
they
like
ended
the
up
same
with it.
config and everything.
It was what? Sorry.
It was like the same config and everything.
Yeah, it was the exact laptop. So then I just put in the new parts and stuff, put in the SSD and everything, and it was pretty much the same thing as the like $1,500 one, and I got it for $800
Was it
plus a
like
couple of part
a
price.
literal clothing store, Magnum, or was it kind of like a Ross or something? Because I know some of those places
Yeah,
will literally get anything.
yeah, it was kind of like one of
So I could
those.
believe it.
So I mean, it
Yeah.
it was just like, but the thing is, it was just like a random website that I never heard of before. So I'm
I
like,
gotcha.
this seems a little sketch, but hey man, for that cheap, let's go.
Go for it.
If
Yeah.
something bad happens, then we'll charge back or something. Let's hope PayPal has my back on this one. And
Yeah, it's how your Gundam figures and Robot King end up at Big Lots sometimes, You're not gonna get a good deal on a
yeah,
laptop.
so I mean, like, because the thing is, like, it was on sale at Newegg for $1,000.
Mhm.
So like the normal
Oof.
price is like 1,200. So to get it for like 800, I was like, yes, yes, please. And then with peripherals and everything, like I bought a new one of these and everything else to go with it. And yeah, it overall it was around $1,000 to get all of it. And I mean, at the time for that kind of processor, and then putting in the SSD and everything, like the equivalent once I got done was like at the time around 1,500. So I was like, win. But now it's like buying laptops and dying. Like what, 7 years later or something. So
Yeah,
anyway,
but at the
Dang
time,
good.
amazing.
yeah. So yeah, definitely those random stores is definitely how to get some stuff. Sometimes. Right place, right time.
But I'll leave off the rest of how the week is going with just a little funniness from earlier, just the other day. My parents sent me you know my annual stipend of underclothes essentially. And I'm joking, by the way, but I feel like parents are obligated to send you socks and underwear and
Hey.
whatnot. And they got me stuff from Duluth Trading Company. Which, if you've ever seen the commercials, they're the ones with like all the weird like sexual innuendos
Oh no.
revolving around like animals. But like for instance, on my they got me boxer briefs, and on there it'll be like the cock is or like the rooster is free, or some dumb stuff like that. Just to be like they don't this unconstraining or all that jazz.
Oh no.
And stuff like that. And it's all grossly overpriced. So
Right.
they got me like $50 worth of stuff from this Duluth company, and it comprised of one single undershirt
Oh no.
and 2 pairs of boxer briefs. And the boxer briefs were individually packed for like $15 a piece.
Holy shit.
Sorry, it's more like 60, but and the undershirt was one undershirt for like $30. Because I was opening it because it was in a box. It's like, oh, okay. And there's like 3, and I'm pulling it out. I was like, this is these are some thin undershirts, and I like open it all up, and it's just one. I was like, oh my gosh, man! But but like the worst part about it is, I don't, I'm not like I'm no like rail or anything like that. I got a few C's in my thick or whatever, but like I generally wear an XL, and they got me a 2X undershirt and 3X boxer briefs. So I was just like, what am I gonna do with this? They claim it'll shrink in the wash, so we'll see.
Fitting the meme perfectly.
Pretty much. I call him. I was like, so like, are you trying to tell me something? But anyway, so that was the gist of my week. Interesting Christmas gifts and playing video games on the internet.
Cool. And then my week, pretty much now I'm just like cyberpunk. So I'm trying to remember what I even did. Path of Exile. Started playing that in hardcore and died a few times, and then it was just like, cosmetics aren't worth the pain of just leveling another character. But I did get to test out my auto cold dot occultist thing, so pretty much you can play the entire build and probably do the entire game with enough gear, literally just by using your mouse, and you never have to hit one key on your keyboard. So a one-click build, everything gets launched. Like, so all your spells is on the one, they'll auto cast, and then everything that's every time you cast, everything's spell slingers. So you do a wand attack, and when you do a wand attack, it'll auto cast everything that's attached to a spell slinger thing.
The auto barf.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's just like all the cold dots at once, and then you just walk away and everything dies. And then like, oh well, technically when you move, it's instacast. So anything instant will just go ahead and not interrupt anything. So you can just, your movement is your instacast for another thing.
That's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds like you just turned yourself into a seed character, or like a seed gundam.
Well, I mean, there's literally people who do AFK builds, or like just not like, one of the funny ones was they get attacked and you like dash because you got attacked toward the enemy. So like,
oh, and that counts as movement.
Well, the thing is like like you don't even have to play, and eventually you'll clear the map. Like 3 hours later, but you'll do it. So like, yeah, there's a lot of the AFK builds, or the invulnerable, like don't do anything builds that people do.
That's funny.
So that's one reason why I love the game so much, is you can do so many crazy builds. The thing with this is like, the Cold Dot Occultist is one of my safest builds ever, and once it gets going, like I never got it online, but once everything's online with it, it's like everything. I've literally stood in like the highest tier map and AFK'd with like 20 guys around me, and they couldn't even touch me. So that's why. And I'm like, I wonder if I could make it more automated than usual, because a friend of mine was like, I like the build, but I liked it when it got automated, and I was like, wonder if I can go even further beyond.
Oh no. Ah!
But
See him clicking through menus real fast. Ah!
what's he doing?
What's this configuration? I can't even.
Oh my gosh.
What is this build?
So but yeah. And other than that, GBO2 things, I kind of was just like, let's get the FAZZ. So I got the FAZZ. Hallelujah.
Hey.
I love it. And real quick, before we get into the and yeah, that's pretty much been it. Just doing Cyberpunk now. I know I forgot something. There was something I was going to mention, but I can't remember now. Anyway,
He has become full cyberpunk.
FAZZ, real quick little section here. I won't even change the topic, I guess, but actually I might. Why not?
Uh-oh.
But
I forgot to change my category. Whoops.
oops.
What did you have it set as?
It's just battle op. I usually just do the podcast.
I used
Sorry, I
to,
didn't mean
but
to
like once I
quit.
started doing like dailies during it, I was like, I can just keep it.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Okay, so quick FAZZ talk. And support talk, really. So now that I've gotten to play it, I love it. The damage is great. Luckily, it doesn't feel like it's based on its gimmick gun as much. It has just great damage output in general. Yeah, I just wish they just didn't have the gun balanced in, and then it would probably be OP. But I feel like they do have the gun balanced in as a thing. I will say, it feels really good in Ace when you're like, everybody, the enemy team's waiting to spawn in because Ace is about to happen, so everybody says sortie together, and they're doing it, and then their Ace plops down, and you're just like, delete! So,
Yes.
yeah, hitting a Dovin Wolf and it literally having 1 health left after just getting hit is great. I love it. But yeah, like, my point is, though, going into this is, I know Emblem in your chat, I hopped in, and we were talking about this, so I kind of wanted to bring this up. I think the FAZZ, the MLRS, and the C1 are pretty much the only ones that would compete with each other at high cost now. I still think the MLRS is king, but the big thing with the FAZZ is that it nullifies the stagger, which is the big reason why the MLRS is so great, because you get to nullify 1 with your shield. So it essentially does the same thing, only all the time. The only difference is the MLRS, if it can use its shield, has 42,000.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, for consistency's sake. Are we still in the introduction? Or do we move on?
We're technically moved on. I went ahead and
This
put
is a
FAZZ as the
tangent.
topic.
Okay, sorry.
this is
I was
a-
just like looking at the top. I was like, damn, did I miss the topic change? Okay,
Sorry,
keep going.
This is a tangent topic. This is an extra topic, but
okay.
I kind of want to just get this out of the way real quick because, so it shouldn't be too long.
Hey, just be glad that it's a Gundam related topic. Okay?
Yeah, there we go. Gundam related tangent. But but yeah. So what do you think, though? From
do this.
I don't know if you remember the conversation in chat, but
I think Jonah was also engaged in it too.
Yeah, Jonah was mentioning stuff about it. So I said I like the C1 in team games because you can definitely utilize transforming and deleting somebody when you need to do it and really helping each other out. Personally, for me,
I know Jonah said he liked the C1 in the same aspect because when you're in a random group, you're able to act solo better. So you're able to kind of protect yourself a little bit better, probably because the suit is so mobile.
See, which maybe it's the mobility, and maybe when I get it, I might be able to feel that. But right now, the reason why so I don't have the C1, so I can't speak to it fully. But as far as like what I've seen, I've been able to bully a C1, which really isn't my job unless you don't have a raid, then counter sniper things. But the with the FAZZ and the MLRS, I can cancel the stagger. So if a raid's coming at me, they have to build up stagger me. And with, like, say, the FAZZ, if you stop boosting and you don't have your maneuver armor, 2 seconds, boom, you're staggered, followed by the missile volley that's really quick. Especially if it's a Mark II Cubulate, you can't dodge. There's, like, you have to...
Mm-hmm.
How many dodge rolls does the Mark
They
II
both
have?
have 2.
They both have 2? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have to dodge roll out of that. Otherwise, the missiles are going to hit you and you're going to get staggered again. And then I can follow up with the, super long range melee downswing. And then run and repeat. And then the missiles on the back, the, like, 30-some shot one, can get about 2 staggers out as well. And everything I can shoot is... I can retreat and shoot at the same time. So I've staggered and had a fight between me and a Mark II Cubulate, which is pretty much my biggest problem for the most part when it comes to any raid at that cost. It was a long fight. I was definitely spamming the support me button a little too much because I got chat banned. Yeah, I got quick chat banned. But the thing is, I feel like with that I can stall out a raid a lot more with those build up staggers, since it has so many that it can use. But when it comes to anything that I have to insta stagger with, now the good thing is you can hard stagger and you can charge on the move with the D1, so maybe that will feel really good. But so far, I haven't really had a problem fighting one myself. Whereas, so again, I can't speak to it, but as far as the FAZZ and the MLRS, I prefer them right now over anything else, just because I can, like, just looking at an example of other supports, they could be kind of close to the C1. Obviously, you don't have the transforming stuff, but as far as play style kind of thing, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not where it plays more like a general and stuff. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just play style preference. It's probably what it kind of comes
That can
down
be a
to.
thing.
So that's
I mean, that's a big deal with all a bunch of suits, right?
Yeah. So where I'm kind of go toward the a lot of the missile stuff and a lot of the build up stagger and things like that. I mean, that's normally where I'm at home at. So I've kind of got my rotations down. And that was another thing. When I first got in the FAZZ, the first game, it was kind of bad. I had a lot of damage, but I was like, okay, now what can I do? And it took me a minute to actually fight a couple of raids to be like, here's my rotation to defend. So
yeah, I feel you there. And we kind of had an interesting conversation kind of on that topic at a different point in time as well. Mainly just like support support offensive defense versus support defensive defense, if that makes sense. And by offensive defense, I mean by giving supports more ability to disengage things via additional stuns, compared to giving them access to actual defense mechanisms that are built into the game. So, maneuver armor, dodge roll, stuff like that.
yeah,
I think I'm personally still the mindset that it wouldn't hurt for supports to have a second tackle. And honestly, I kind of think some of the disrest amongst the player base might kind of come from transparency or a lack of transparency on BB's side on what their like mindset is for the suits. And maybe they do that because they don't want to try to force the flow of the game. But I mean, on the other hand, I feel like that's kind of like it's gonna happen regardless based on how they create the suits anyway. But it seems like support's main defense is in the form of damage and stagger options, right? Generals kind of have a little bit of mix of everything. There's some that have good. There's some that are just busted because balancing is hard. But we talk about the Dryson's a good example. It dips into everybody's Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
Oh god,
it has dodge roll, maneuver armor, and good stagger setup options and stuff like that.
In fact, that's the
rate.
Dryzen is gonna come into play a lot when Zeku, I feel.
Well, that's another thing too. I didn't know. Again, back to the whole trial system talk that we had. I didn't know the Dryson was a suit that I needed in my life until I got it here the other day and played it. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing the Dryson a lot this week because we're gonna see a lot of 600 hopefully. And
Yep, it's up right now actually.
yeah, like I've been destroying with the Dryson right now. I didn't know it. Like me and that suit just clicked, and I'm like, okay, we good? Let's go. So yeah, and put in the trial system that actually is where people can try things and then decide to spin. Because I didn't like the Dryson was one I was just like, oh well, that's cool. It looks like a cool little gimmick. That sure. I'm bullying it right now, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it has so much base damage, and you can get like 50 melee defense and other defenses. What is this thing? So I don't know. I actually put way too much melee defense on it. Technically, I would have had like 54 melee defense or something. I was like, whoops, I went overboard. My bad. But yeah,
Too much defense.
but like,
or good.
well, I was gonna say more back to the topic though. So, I mean, I guess it's more preference, but again, like just those three, I finally am glad that we actually got some competition to be able to have this discussion. Like, this is amazing because it's just been MLRS is king the entire time. And I think my curiosity though is with the C1, like kind of wondering because I know a lot of people prefer it over like say even the MLRS right now. Kind of wondering because for me I haven't got to play it yet really and experience the magic of I guess that being able to charge the gun and stagger and hard stagger when you charge it. But
it gives you a lot of good shutdown options and
yeah,
escape as well.
especially where you're on the move because you hard stagger somebody, you play the peek game, boom, peek them, and then yeet, I'm out.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's another nice thing about the suit is that it just has general like more maneuverability, so it can kind of circumvent the MLRS's fridge door a little bit easier than other things. Like the FAZZ kind of struggles with that, but it at least has those missiles to like kind of knock it around with, and then it can kind of get in there after that. So they both have answers. I feel like the more well-rounded one is still the MLRS, especially when you talk about the fact that all you have to do is sneeze on the C1 and knock it out of the sky, or like the FAZZ just being a giant barn door in and of itself. So it's not really that hard to hit.
yeah, right. I will say though, as far as the C1 though, I feel like the C1's flying mode is really for following up when somebody's knocked down. I've seen people transform and just literally delete a general with it.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have your hooks in somebody for that to like actually be effective.
yeah. So like I knocked somebody down in the Dryson, and then I saw my teammate just transform and delete the dude that I knocked down. So I was like, okay, me and this guy, we're gonna work together. I'm gonna stick by him. So I protected him from the raid, and then just knocked people down, and he deleted.
Ugh, you're a problem, Magnum. Making it hard to do my job.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I every time I play a general, I'm like, where's the raid? I'm gonna hunt you down. Where's the raid? I gotta get my revenge when I can. But yeah, but yeah, as far as that goes, like I'm curious to know if we could get more stuff like the C1 to where it still feels support, but because it feels like it has like again, I haven't played it, but the MLRS and the FAZZ feel more like supports to me as far as just their general mechanics go. So I'm curious to know if we're going to get any more like these hard staggers or any of this actually being able to move. Can we get like a Gatling that you don't have to sit still with that is like a big deal and not like the Dom Barrage Gatling where it takes 5 million years to stagger somebody? So
I'll say though, I think the C1 is a good. I may have mentioned this whenever we first talked about it, but I think the C1 is still a good hybrid between support and general. Unlike some of their other options where you kind of get too much of the support weakness.
yeah,
like, and some of it's still kind of there, but I feel like they actually did a good job meeting it in the middle this time. Whereas it still has some of the awkward support stuff, like you can stun it out of the flight mode and priority 1. Oh, they should probably give it 2,
I
but
was gonna
whatever.
ask, does it have priority
Um,
2? But I guess it only has
I'm
1.
pretty sure it's 1. I doubt it has 2 because BB, it's not a Mark II, so it doesn't get to have anything higher than 1.
My main point though is I kind of want to see more C1 stuff. It's something close to that. And as long as they just keep it up, like I think they're doing pretty good. Like it's the Hama Hama just had me sad. Like, and then the upgrades, like the full armor 7th, I've got that at 650, and that one's kind of, it's okay. You know, it's cool. Can do the job, but it's just everything's decent, and it feels like it has its gimmick that it counts on way too much. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into unless you guys have anything else on that. Get into some Xekueins.
It seems good. The only thing I would add is just that I eat FAZZ for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Bring it on. Wait, what suit are you playing? Hang on, real quick. What suit are you playing?
The Kubaloo. The
Okay,
Kubaloo.
bring it on.
Or the Hammurabi.
Okay, now I'm scared of that one.
You should
Please
probably
no.
be more scared of the Keyblade, but
okay. I've been eating Kubalay Mark IIs for breakfast, dude. Like I'll stagger them like 10 times before they even get to melee me once. If I see them. It's scary though when they just come from behind, just out of nowhere.
and just oh.
Okay, so which one are we starting with first? 1 or 2?
No, you mean 3 or 2?
Or
We were just talking about
yeah.
supports, so why don't we do 3?
Okay. So Xekueins 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put 3 to the type.
Getting kind of bullied in mine right now.
Okay, so
Depends on our enemy team though.
Gustav, you have it, and you're getting bullied in it. Let's pull that footage up. Hopefully
good.
nothing died.
Don't look at my shame. Why am I the ace? I just killed somebody.
Okay, I got an ad that is playing
Ooh, I need to
in
get that.
the resolution. Oh man, I don't have downscaling on your thing. Read it.
Why did you knock me over, you fool?
Okay, well,
Man, the art for Chovaniki is interesting. Sorry, I digress.
GBO1's trying to help me too much.
the art for what?
Dude, man, did you have one of those raid moments? Or I guess you're not in a raid, but do you have those moments where your teammate's just trying to be helpful and they just end up getting you killed? Or like,
yeah, fucking GPO1 came in because he saw someone coming in at my left when I was trying to line up a shot, and he's like, "I'll save you, Mr. President." Does an entire downswing next to me, knocks me over along with him, and then a C1 swoops in like, "Oh, thank you."
I love the
having a sliver left.
Like recently, I saw like a meme where it was kind of like the "I'm Jarvan, I'm helping" kind of thing, only with like only with what was it? The which one has a was it the stamen? I think it was one of those long swings kind of thing. And it was just like, yep, know that feel. Knocking over like five people. But only with the Jarvan meme is you get trapped in an arena and it's like, help, let me out, no teammate, please. But anyway,
I just go back to me trying to kill a Mudrock and my Mark II slapping my beam saber aside to help out.
Okay, it's like I have you. I got your back. Are you sure? Because it seems like you just fucked the whole approach.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in that case, that guy knew he fucked up. Like as soon as we bounced, he was like, "Sorry," and I was like, "Yeah, you should be."
You should, yeah, right. I was like, "Nah, you're not getting away with that. You should have been."
I just can't stand the ones that are like, "Sorry," like, why do if you see somebody on a sliver of health and you know you can kill them, like, come on, pay attention to their health bar a little bit, please, because if they're dead, don't follow up with a downswing that's gonna like knock over 5 people. Like, just have some awareness of health bars, please.
Oh.
For the love of everything. Okay, well, I'm still having some technical difficulties pulling this up, so we'll get that eventually. Oh, hey, it worked when I started complaining.
That's all you
Nice.
need sometimes.
Okay, so what do we got for some stats on this thing if we want to go through that?
For sure. So we're on the 3. First to point out, it has space specialization. It is a 550 600. I'll just touch on it. I am glad that they went with this cost. I said I think we need to flesh out more higher cost stuff, so that's pretty neat. Um, Aircraft health, or the HP is 19,000 level 1, 20,000 level 2. Um, the ammo, or like the physical rounds at live ammo, bullet damage correction or resistance rather, is 22, 24 at level 2. Beam resistance is 22, 24 as well. Melee damage resistance is 24, 26. So its defenses
Ooh,
are pretty well rounded.
yeah.
Mhm.
Its range damage modifier is 35 and 38 at level 2. Melee is 22 at level 2. The type 3 has a movement speed of 140. Boosted movement speed is 215. Has 70 thrust. That's the same as the support version, by the way. Um, Turning speed is 66 on the ground, 72 in space. It looks like it has medium melee priority. It has a special counter. I don't know what it looks like, but looks
The
like it has its own
counters
counter animation.
the counter is kind of weird because it whips out another saber,
Hmm.
but it's not an option to go dual wield. It's just a single saber.
Huh. That's weird.
When would be the first time
That's-
they've limited a weapon to a counter, right? Just like the mine whip and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it is a 2-star. Part slots are top slots are 12 and 13 for levels 1 and 2 respectively. Medium is 14 and 16, and long range is 14 and 15.
There we go. We've also got it up right now.
Oh, okay. Modifiers are all the same as standard for melee damage. 100% on neutral, 75 for sides, and 130 for down.
If you can just go through the weapons, Gustav, and show off some of the damage and stuff.
Okay.
And I can talk about it while he's doing it.
Yeah.
I hope it's the machine gun. So the machine gun for the Zeku is 160 and 168 for its damage at level 1 and 2 respectively.
Mm.
The clip is pretty big. It holds 160 bullets. It gets 4 more at level 2. Apparently it fires 520 shots a minute. Reload time is 20 seconds. Range is 300, 305 at level 2. And you can fire while moving. Stagger value is 3%.
Mm.
It's like it.
Pretty
They
much
fire
bomb
500
barrage.
shots a second. Yeah. Do you think it shoots pretty fast? Like it looks like it shoots relatively
It's pretty quick.
quickly.
And
Okay.
the stagger rate, considering how like that is percentage wise, I'd say maybe you get through over like a quarter of the bullets and you'll actually get a stagger. But that is assuming that you get everything on it.
Yeah, it feels
Because
very dumb barrage.
there's going to be a lot of movement, right? It doesn't have the same kind of spread as the barrage, at least not as much, but it's definitely still there.
Like, what's the ASL on it? I guess we'll see in here in a
ASL is
second.
pretty tight.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome that it has the secondary weapons. The club is kind of interesting just because it has such a long ready up time.
It's also
The
interesting
club is
because
its
it's weaker
Sturmfaust for
than
those of
Clay
you at home.
Bazooka.
Yeah. Oh, how much damage does the beam saber have? Because that's kind of my
2500.
2500.
okay, good. Because like the big deal with
26,
this,
25 at level 2.
Yeah, the big deal is like you're gonna want to use the club and then melee probably, or at least the club and then Gatling if you can. But I mean, if you're that close, you're gonna want to do club melee. Other than that, you want to probably do clay bazooka into Gatling. About the only way, or just Gatling outright. That's the weird part about the suit. Like where the Dom Barrage has kind of like a obvious combo to like delete somebody.
This thing doesn't,
This
like,
thing
by
is
a
just
long shot.
like I'm gonna play or club you and then we'll club you.
Well, not to mention the barrage has a little bit of extra range on Gatling too.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's like
another.
50 as opposed to 300.
So
So they still want you to play this at like the very edge of mid, but they also give you competency in melee. So like they want you to follow up some way. And the faster way to do it would be with the clay bazooka. So I still kind of brings up the question, what the fuck is the club for other than just an extra hit?
I
And a
feel like
very
it's
slow extra hit at that.
yeah. So I feel like it's one of those things that you're gonna pull out really preemptively, like you know,
Mhm.
planning 4 steps ahead, and then you
Like
get in there.
premeditated, someone's literally around the corner, bam, and then you just smack them.
Yeah, that's about the only use for the club. Other than that, it's
Kind of a last ditch.
yeah, pretty much. But overall though, what do you think of it so far? Have you been hitting good damage numbers? Like, does it feel pretty maneuverable?
It kind of does, and this is where it gets a little weird because it's in a cost range where there's a lot of real weird gimmick suits. A lot of things have body buffers, so even if they're weak against ballistic, hitting certain parts of their bodies just shaves off your damage over time.
Hmm.
Especially when you're talking about Sears, Cubelays, things like that. The Gatling is good. It has a good rate of fire. The range could be better. I feel like if we're talking about an ancient ass suit like the Barrage having 50 more, this thing should probably have that too.
Yeah.
But it's also pseudo support, right? So they still want you to try to get in there and mix it up.
Well,
The clay bazooka is pretty nice, especially for it being still a sub weapon overall. And the fact that it's a Scooty suit means that you do have good mobility, but I'm being careful if you're not used to it, because you're going to be fighting against some of that momentum as usual.
yeah, that's the big thing with any kind of Scooty suit. I will say the most awkward one, even though I love Scooty suits, the most awkward one for me so far has been the AG. Yeah, that's been a little weird.
Kind of scary thing is that things like the Mark III are kind of predatorial against you because they have instant stuns. They have good output against you. I don't think you really are super exemplary in terms of your defense, even if average. So they're still going to be hitting you for a lot. And now they have those combo controllers, so you can't even really outdo them with that. And there goes the support version, by the way. Just zooming away over there.
It does exist.
It is there. They do exist.
2 weeks.
Oh wow! Speaking of things that exist, there were Goo, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
kind of wonder how that stacks up against this because it doesn't have Gatlings, right? But it still has that missile bar, so they still want you to kind of play it the same way, where you're shitting out a lot of stuff in the outside, but you still have confident melee to move in with afterwards.
Speaking
And
of the Mark III though,
right, like both of them kind of cover that role. So that's interesting that they're trying to do a lot more suits like that in the general range. It's not just about initiating the smack. You have a lot of stuff to do before you even really have to go in. But the more aggressive players, of course, are still going to do that. And I think it's paying off for them a lot because that was kind of the problem with the Barrage, is that it really has to sit on somebody if they're not doing the ultra combo right out of the gate to get their damage. And because everything is so fast at this cost range, keeping that distance is hard as fuck. Because everything in zoom nooms, including you. You know, so your reaction is going to be to use your own maneuver. You're just going to get yourself in trouble in some situations.
But yeah, I'm a bit far behind because when I said speaking of Mark III, that's when I just saw the Mark III on your screen. So I'm guessing you were talking about it when it happened. Whoops.
Yep, I sure was.
So yeah, um, my internet. Oh, that's what I was gonna mention. So my internet went out yesterday,
Oof.
and the good news is it came back. Apparently, they did have like some sort of outage thing, but it came back double the speed.
Oh,
So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm not gonna complain.
right.
Just saying. So we'll see how long that lasts. But
Yeah, they accidentally hit the good internet button on you.
yeah, right.
Like,
I'm
oh,
like,
that wasn't right.
they're like, whoops.
Fucked up. Oh no.
Oh
no.
yeah, we
We didn't
unthrottled them
that.
this time since we can do that now. Yay!
Quick, turn back on the throttle.
Gotta choke that shit. Let's go.
But
Throw 'em out.
but anyway, but so overall though, what's the skills? Let's go over the skills. I'm curious to
The
know.
skills and the deals.
I know
We didn't
you
touch
show
on it,
them.
but the Clay Bazooka and the Club have 80% stagger. So if you're trying to
Oh,
punch through maneuver armor, you can lead with those and dock them down if you're machine gun. You'll probably stagger them pretty quick. And by probably I mean you'll stagger them pretty quick.
that's not bad. That's actually pretty
Get
solid.
your out of there. Bam.
So if that FAZZ is fazzing up your day, hit him with your club. Shillelagh You gotta shillelagh all the raids.
Give him that shillelagh. Get him with
Anyway.
the clobber master.
It has leg shock level 3. So that's the one that like reduces the behavior of landing or your damage or whatever. It's the thing they give the suits to make them better.
Oh yeah, man.
When buffs are necessary.
Definite rough. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got emergency evasion, so dodge roll. It has balancer level 1. Well, I don't think there's any other levels of balancer, but you know what I'm saying. Force injection device level 2, which is pretty relevant. MBAC. It has combo controller 1, maneuver armor, leg cushioning level 2, so the legs take 15% less damage. Shoulder cushioning level 1, so your shoulders take 10% less damage. And shoulder option special cushioning material. So those are little shield bars on the shoulders. Those take 15% less damage when attacked. And it also has high performance radar.
Trying to think. I mean, this just seems pretty solidly balanced. Like I don't know if it's exceptional or underpowered, but yeah, I
I'd
definitely
say
want
it's
it.
pretty exceptional. I feel like if you're running low on your sub weapons and stuff, it might feel a little daunting, especially if you get 1v1 or 1v2. But like that, you can say that for any suit, but I feel like other suits have more survivability in those situations. But if you're running this mid to close along with everyone else, you'll have a lot of opportunities. It just kind of crumbles under pressure.
That seems interesting. It seems like it's well equipped to handle pressure. From what I can tell.
It's
So that's
definitely
kind of
got the
interesting if you're having
defense.
that problem. Yeah. It's got defense. It feels like you can kind of treat its Zook as its primary in some
The
cases.
swing's kind of
Like
interesting.
it seems like you should be able to melee. Yeah, that's interesting though.
That melee swing.
I'll have to see some more.
Pretty wide.
Yeah, it's kind of like wide or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really wide. Like, blah.
Yeah,
It actually reaches all the way back a little bit more, I think, than the what am I trying to say? Remember you're talking about it being like the Gelgug, and I was like, which Gelgug? And it's the Marine, and I can definitely see that.
Oh, it's kind of like
it has a bit more
like
dramatic
an
flair,
underhand
which
slash.
actually brings it out. Yeah.
I gotcha.
It's like it's trying to reach its little arm stump out. Like, nah, I got you.
It does have force injector too, which is kind of nice.
That was nice. I'm really glad they didn't lowball that, because that would have made this a whole lot rougher.
Let's just take force injection 1 out of the game.
right?
Right, please.
They're gonna get rid of costs out of the lobbies. You just get
Just
rid
make
of
all
them.
force injection 1s into 2.
Just bump up the stats for it. I don't give.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's probably not, a good year of pixie play speaking or anything like that.
Feels like it's sort of the chase meta changing stuff. I kind of wonder about that. Like, I don't know if this is like paradigm shift worthy, but I feel like it's kind of cementing in what suits at these cost ranges are going to be about in the future. Having these like more fleshed out kits, being able to keep that maneuverability up, being generally versatile. And it's interesting because that's kind of what these mobile suits have always been about, just slapping as much shit on them as possible so that they always have answers because, even in lore, these things, despite them being shifted out because of all the research, had to kind of last the test of time. So we'll see if they continue with that going forward. Especially as we get into like, and I'm sorry for all the Zeku stands out there, but as we get into some of the more iconic suits later on in the holidays.
Oh yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens with that. I've with what you just said though, I feel like that's kind of what the support stuff where we were talking about the FAZZ and stuff. I really feel like that's kind of what's been happening there is like we're actually getting some solidly diverse, weapon sets with these suits,
Mm.
and it just feels good having other options that are
Right.
at least viable or exceptional, which is pretty nice.
It still feels like they're going both ways though, because it's kind of like that discussion. It's kind of like the topic we had around the time that Tristan came out,
Mm.
right? Where they're kind of moving away from more of the front end dedicated stuns and loading the stuns up on the sidearms and giving you the stagger build up options
Yeah.
and
Mm.
stuff like that. Like, and I don't think it's necessarily bad because at least in that case, if like defense skills are up, they're there, but it also gives the player the ability to have to make use of their assets or like their multiple options to get that stagger instead of it just being like bang, bang follow up. Like
Mhm.
boom
Yeah.
melee. You get to use your stuff properly. It's almost
Now
like
that
setting up combos in League or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like.
That
Feels more
being
dynamic.
said, like, although it is another example of that, I feel like, and this is kind of where the Dryzen comes in, right? Because it's at this cost range solidly, and it has that bang in the melee still, even though it can do other stuff. And most people who are using it are just doing bang in the melee because really that's all they have
Oh,
to
for
do.
sure.
The other stuff
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just to make you fuck up so that when they go into bang into melee, it's easier and you have less answers.
Sure.
And towards that end, the Dryzen bullies the fuck out of this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I could feel that.
Because like you can do with the Dryzen, my thing where I like its playstyle has clicked with me, so I'm loving it right now. But like I'll pew pew the beam whenever I have nothing else to do. That's always cool. I like my pew pews. But like I can either just straight shuriken in and then follow up and just knock you down and laugh, or bazooka and then back up, or I stagger you from a distance with the bazooka and then I have the shuriken stuff going in the air, and then I'm like, okay, I've already got my melee ready, and then as soon as they hit, you're staggered, and then I just immediately knock you down, kind of thing. And
Mhm.
like the amount of extra stuff you can do just feels so good. Like the plays and the throw them in the air and have them kind of go off and then swing around and hit them from the side, and then you just smack them in the face or something. Like it just feels so good to play, and just having all those extra, just all that extra damage just in everything that it has is just kind of a little awkward. I feel like it just does a little bit too much damage for the utility that it has, but because it's tanky, like 2200 or 2200. Yep, I finally did it. 22,000 health. I say I finally did it, but I probably have done that more. But anyway, I finally caught
Probably all
myself.
at some point.
Yeah. But 22,000 health, like, and you can get 50 melee res. I just love seeing like a raid just be like, just beat me to death, and I'm like, you did 2,000 damage.
Hey, but at least after he's done, your mood is up, and you know, you feel a little bit more confident in your trainer.
Oh my god.
See, if you're watching
shit.
this on YouTube, you skip the opening, you won't get what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But
We're
that's
not gonna
okay.
tell you either. You better go watch the intro.
You better go reel it back, dude.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. Okay. Anyway, well, but yeah, well, I guess final thoughts on this.
I know rating is kind of irrelevant with the way BB does things, methods, but
Yeah, bro.
you know, it doesn't it doesn't seem too bad, like in that regard. Just looking at it on paper, I think I had a chance to play against it too much. Like I think it'll be a suit that the machine gun types might flock towards because it's not
Mhm.
all in on damage, but it still lets you machine gun because you have a pretty solid weapon option with a lot of ammo that also has good secondaries to kind of back that style up, right?
You're
Because the
hoping
main
that those
problem is that
machine gun types actually use the secondaries. Oh god.
right, well, hopefully they will be, right? Because I know my main problem with machine gun play is that like you can't save your teammates on the spot with a machine
Yeah.
gun. You know, like we can talk about like stagger build up and stuff like that. And like I don't know, maybe if you're the cold district, but like realistically, you can't just pop them off on the spot unless you use your under rail.
Right.
So like if you see a situation like, oh crap, I need a stun, you just switch to your club or you switch to your clay bazooka sidearm and that problem is gone. So
Yeah, like, hey,
I
stop
don't mind
moving.
that. Yeah.
Well, definitely. The club takes a little bit longer, sadly, but
Yeah, you're not wrong.
the
But I think
bazooka.
the bazooka's only got 4 shots. And believe me, if you're on the field long enough, you're probably gonna pop through all of them.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, you
one.
definitely want to keep that club on deck.
Yeah, that's one you kind of want to reload. I like that the clay bazooka actually has some good damage there. I saw that. That was nice.
Yes, it's actually really surprising. For a sub weapon, no less, right? Like that's the more surprising thing about it. They didn't really like try to like neuter. I should have fucking tackled there.
Mhm.
Here, eat that. 4408 on a Humbravi. That's gross. That bazooka is grody.
Yeah, so that does. It's packing some damage. I like it. I like it. I want it.
That moment when you can just do like an instant damage on your sub weapon and then just move the grinding pieces of your MG.
That's kind of the interesting thing. Some of the sub weapons that they put on some suits are now starting to get pretty solid, and that's kind of what I'm curious.
I think they learned their lesson with the Easy 8 weapons rack. Because remember they kind of like blunted a lot of its stuff on there.
Oh yeah, that
And
was
then they
annoying.
changed it back and they're like, okay, well, it hasn't changed it enough for it to be busted, but it definitely helped its output. So I think they feel just like more comfortable doing it now.
Oh yeah, I got the steel one, and
Give me that.
yeah, like I went mobile suit fishing by planting a bomb early, and then just being like, okay, you got your suit, mine. They
Yeah,
defuse the
mobile suit
bomb,
group.
and I get their suit. So yeah, so I got the weapons rack, and then I just got to tear through stuff. Like that feels so good now. Like I stole one before the buffs, and then I stole one after the buffs, and I'm just like, this is night and day difference. By the way, can we just get the 100mm buff on the 100mm, please?
No. No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
So here's another question
I'm
then.
sad.
Because Blaze was asking us in chat. So do
Mhm.
you guys think between these two, and maybe we can talk about it more once we get into the other one, try to get some details, but are these ones that you guys would personally wail for, or is this something that you would just kind of wait on and see what the other holiday seeds are going to be?
Yeah, I saw that comment. I was gonna. for me, I'm a support main and I like shooty stuff, so I'm spinning. I don't think we're
Right.
gonna see another support. So I mean, unless just like the general or raid is like the coolest thing ever, I'm the last banner and this banner are my two banners probably for this event. So for me, yes, I'm throwing all my tokens at this, whatever I get.
I'll say absolutely not. I outside of like, I don't know, my suit kind of things. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think at least when we talk about the Type 2 or the Type 3 rather, it looks pretty solid. Really haven't I personally don't know much of anything about the Type 2. Sometimes I've kind of learned about the suit as I as I read the character sheet,
Oh
but
yeah.
That's
as
fair.
as far as it goes, nah, we're too close to
The big
like
stuff.
yeah, like just 2 years ago, next week was the BD 2 and 3, followed up by the Alex and the Camphor when they came out. So I mean, we'll probably be getting some pretty good stuff. Um and I don't think I don't think these suits are strong enough to warrant going all in on. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe if you didn't have a large mobile suit selection, like if you were newer, um I don't think this is a bad week to roll on purely because this current step up banner gives you unacquired or gives you mobile suits guaranteed for every pool and
Mm,
unacquired mobile suits on the higher pools. But that's literally the only reason I would wail, not because the Xekueins Type 2 and 3
but
are
because the
like
banner is good.
crazy, but because the banner is good enough for new players that want to roll. Um, and they just happen to be stapled onto it.
That's fair.
Yeah, for the question, was it like us personally, or was it like recommending to a new
I mean,
player just
it
somebody
can
else?
only be personally, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so personally, that was my answer. But if I'm recommending to somebody else, I have to agree with Emblem pretty much completely.
Yeah.
Like
Because I
these
mean,
suits,
if we're talking about the person asking, Blaze is actually playing for a hot minute. He's been here for a while, so he's not really like hurting for suits like that.
yeah, new player wise, I agree. Probably if you got the tokens, do the step up right now. The fantastic step up, especially I didn't notice that it was maybe we talked about it and I actually acknowledged it in the moment, but two unacquired 2 stars, that is pretty big.
Yeah.
So
It could be the new suit.
yep.
And in most cases, it probably will be. So don't don't sleep on it for sure if you got the money.
Just beeped. Why am I beeping?
Uh
But yeah, yeah, as far as the banner goes though, the step up is probably what I'd be rolling on, I think. What's the first one? What's the first step up do?
I think it's just materials. They say they're not like specifically
I
suits, but it's just like
I mean, we'll get to the
I thought it
banners
was
here in a second.
I thought it was a guaranteed 2-star,
Well, that's
and
step
then the
3.
next one was 1.5. Well, I thought
Oh
it was
wait, no,
guaranteed
okay, yeah, sorry.
1.5, guarantee.
No,
I
there's
think. I
four.
mean,
There's
we'll look
four
at it in a minute,
steps.
but
It's a little too many tokens for me to take advantage of.
mhm.
But anyway, yeah, we'll get to it here in a sec. But yeah, overall looks pretty cool. I guess we'll go into the stats and stuff and talk about number 2 now because I think this is pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and change the topic. We don't have anything else for the number 3. Probably the easiest topic change I've ever had to do. Change a number.
just nice.
So yeah, Xekueins Type 2.
Well, that's where my usefulness runs dry because I don't have this one. I didn't wail hard enough. Woo.
Okay, so the Type 2 though, it has that little dish, and I'm sad that all it does is prevent jamming at a cost Where right now we don't have really any jamming unless there's a Noct running around.
What about the Pixie?
Any Sentinel jamming suits for next week?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where's the jamming suits coming in? Is the Xekueins Type
Can't see 'em.
1 a jamming suit?
That would be kind of cool. I don't think that's something it has, but like giving it that and something aggressive to make it a raid, that'd be.
Can I just say that like the Type 1, I feel like is gonna have the like most bare package.
Oh yeah,
And of course
yeah.
it's the raid, man. Like, God.
you know
God.
it's
Oh, yeah,
gonna
this
be
is
a
getting
high
like the-
cost. It's gonna be a high cost quell just with jamming.
I was gonna say this is Quell and Gelgoog Marine all over again, dude. Like
Gelgoog Marine's actually a good bully though. You can't lump in the Marine with the quell.
No, I'm
I've
sorry,
seen some
man.
pretty fucking like nutso
Well,
Marine
I
players
will
more consistently than I've seen quell players get in there like that.
I will say, Magnum, I agree with you, but Gustav makes a point that the Marine does do better damage than the Quell does.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
but I mean, as far as bare bones, like those two are probably the most two bare bones like of suit varieties that I think I've seen. Because you got the Marine Commander, which is just like, well, okay, the Marine Commander sucked, and then they
But
buffed
they
it,
made it better.
and
yeah.
now it's like, and now it's
now
that
it's
gun.
the fucking monster.
That gun is sex, dude. I love that gun. Oh,
Like suddenly the fact that it's a big dumb suit doesn't matter because it's got a big dumb gun that actually works.
yep. And it's crazy how many shots you can get off now. You're just like, brrr, brrr, brrr. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love
Wait,
that
how's
gun.
it go?
rat tat tat.
Barrage, intensify.
But yeah, I'm looking at the thing for the supply right now. It's 2-star mobile suit guarantee for the first step. Chance for 2-star materials are higher 1.5 for the second one. And the third one is a 2-star unacquired mobile suit guaranteed, and the final one is a 3-star unacquired mobile suit guaranteed.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's not bad. I honestly think this one's better than what we're gonna get next week.
Probably.
Or whatever the next new banner is. I can't remember.
I kind of
next
hope that
week or
they
2
keep it
weeks from now.
consistent, right? Because like we still have a little ways to go, not to mention, and that's something we'll probably talk about when we get further into December. But obviously, they're gonna also be doing a New Year's event, right? So, depending on what they're saving for what.
Oh no! I just saw that Blaze missed the answer. Oh man.
Yeah,
No.
the
Okay.
woes of
Also, that reminds me, I do have your
the
stream up
internet.
still, so let's not kill my computer anymore.
Yeah, stop murdering your computer.
There we
Oh,
go.
no, are you good? That sounded like your
Yeah,
beeper.
he beeped again.
Yeah, I'm beeping. My battery's dying. I got to plug myself into the wall. That's all that's going on. But anyway, there we go. The two. Let's go ahead and look at the weapon stat, or let's go over the stats, and then we'll go through the weapons, and then we'll go through the skills. I really think. I'm sorry. I just saw Costa's comment. Those cyberpunk implants, man. I'm already there, guys. I'm already there.
He's in
Yeah,
it.
dude. Been waiting for this moment his entire life.
Yeah.
Magnum's on the cutting edge, man. Let's go.
Okay. But yeah, so let's go over the stats, then we'll go over the weapons and stuff, because I think the weapons are interesting. I think this is what's really cool about this suit, and I'm really curious to know the stagger threshold of everything. That's going to be the big deal. If it has what I think it has, then we in there. If it doesn't, then we got another Gelgoog Jaeger Marine Commander problem, and they need to fix it fast because I feel like they made a mistake.
Prepare your body for disappointment, Magnum.
Oh my gosh!
Space,
spoilers!
space specialization.
Spoilers!
Same cost. Same cost as the Type 3. 550, 600. It has 17,000 HP.
That's kind of oof.
18,000 at level 2.
That is oof.
Yeah, it's It's definitely got some. It's got to play the support tax for sure.
I mean, normally we have good health though. What is this?
Support tax, man. It's live ammo or correction or defense is 28 and 30 for level 1, 2 respectively.
It's
Beam
not bad.
resistance is 28 and 30 also. Melee resistance is 4 and 6.
Yep, that sucks.
So more than the FAZZ. Shooting shooting modifier for damage is 35 and 38.
I'll take it.
Melee modifier is 20 and 22.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I just realized. I'll take that.
It's the same as the Type 3, by the way.
I'll take that. What was I about to say? The range, because I know I've already freaked out yesterday about its part slots. So I just realized you can fit. I think you can fit every range mod on this thing.
Yes, we finally got one, boys.
That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's cool that its parts are like spec'd up for actual min maxing in that regard. Speed is 130.
Put health on it.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing too. I agree.
Well, you know what it is? Like, this is a lazier version of the G lines, right? Because their packs are just different loadouts. They're not different form factors.
Yeah, they don't like change any armor.
It's the same as suit. They just put different shit on it and like spec'd it a little different.
See, we were talking about this. Like, will they just have suits that are, will we get to this point?
And when we're
this is like, again, if proper editing and stuff would happen, this would be a flashback to like episode
yesterday
4 or something. Oh well, yesterday, yeah. But I was gonna say this is like literally we talked about this on like one of our first episodes where we were like, can we get the Thunderbolt Akais where they're all 3 different things, where one's a support, one's a general, one's a raid. Oh my gosh, And then the G lines kind of was like, oh my gosh, we might be getting this with the G lines, but they're literally like straight up different
and designs.
Yeah, like it's obvious different suits. Where this is like, it's got shoulders and a Gatling.
This is literally what we were talking about.
It's got a dish,
but a different suit line.
Yeah, so it's finally the dream might happen. We might get the Thunderbolt Akais. Please, no, but
yeah, it's not happening. It feels bad, man. I hate
Damn it.
Sorry, fun police here. Nope.
Fun police.
Oof. Okay. But yeah, sorry. We were on speed.
Yes.
So the high speed movement is 185. Thrusters are 70. Turning speed is 54. On ground, in space it goes up to 60. I'm pretty sure, melee modifier or the melee priority is 1. Let's see. The counter, it looks like it has 2 different ones depending on where it is. It says it's a throw on the ground, and in space it's a knee kick. Also a 2-star. Part slots are on top 5 and 6 for levels 1 and 2 respectively. The mid slots are 6 and 8, and long range slots are 29 and 30.
By the way,
bottom slots.
Just enough to put firing level 5 because it takes 6 medium.
Perfect.
Why
they knew.
This
is why they made it, man.
Why does it take 6 medium and 10 long? What is this? Why? Why? Support.
Why have you done this in this game?
No.
What?
You can't put all the firing programs. You need 8. You need 8 medium
need slots.
No, only the level 2. Only the level 2 fully upgraded.
You better upgrade it all the way then.
Only the level 2 fully upgraded can put all the fire.
No. Well, there goes the dream, ladies and gentlemen.
They broke me.
All right, so while Magnum wallows in despair, let's keep going. So
Ooh.
the melee modification, like for a lot of the supports, is standard at 100 for neutrals, sides of 75, and downswings are 130. Magnum, if you don't have to keep that position because this might take a while. Just whenever you're ready to switch back, feel free to do so. It has a beam smart gun, which
Yes,
seems to fire in
this.
a 3-round burst. Level 1 has
Does
900
it charge?
damage. Level 2 has 945. It doesn't say it can charge.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if anybody else has played it. I think it pierces.
I would hope so, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
that would be insane.
So here's the thing about this suit that
Yeah,
I've
it sounds
kind
like
of
it
noticed
pierces.
is that like I'm trying to get in there and see it, and it's not doing anything. It's getting beat up before it gets going, and so I'm honestly, I want to see some actual like gameplay clips of this at some point just to see what like the actual utility and stuff is supposed to be.
I wonder if we have any clips anywhere. Let me try to find one real quick. Because what's the stagger build up on it? Sorry if you already said it.
No, I didn't. I'm trying to find another example. 35. That's not bad. You
Okay,
can stun in a
so
3-round burst on a normal suit. Well, not a literal normal suit, but like
yeah, normal, no damage control. Which is kind of interesting though that
unit through
it just
effect.
barely can do it though. I gotta know the sub weapons stagger ratio now.
Mm.
If anybody has any gameplay, please link it to somebody and get that to
Alshi
me.
has the suit.
Yeah, he did. He didn't want it, but he got he got it.
Okay, I'm seeing some gameplay here. Testing out.
Okay, I don't
Okay,
think it does have penetration.
Oh, is it
Because everything
mid-foot?
else, yeah, everything else that pierces on here says unit penetration effect. I'm just
Mm.
confused because it says unit through effect, yes. So I'm not really sure what it means by that.
okay. I found a
Freaking Google
preview
Translate.
video on
Sounds like
YouTube.
penetration.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds like it would. It sounds like penetration. All right. Anyway, enough
It sounds like
innuendo.
penetration.
Phrasing. Okay, so I found one. Hopefully this actually shows everything.
Smash chat hasn't responded. Usually they're like on top of this stuff, but
Yeah,
at
does
least on
nobody
Letterboxd,
have does nobody have the suit? Like what?
It's not very common, man. Like I've seen only a couple in these matches, and it's usually just one. It's not one on teams.
posting a question in Discord as well.
Yeah, so the question is, does it penetrate? Other than that, I think we've got a good showcase here. I'd like to see somebody try to do to see if it does penetrate. But it from what I can tell, there is no charge up though, so that is solved. There's definitely no charge.
Like it just fires.
Yeah, it's just a pew pew pew.
That's weird. That's weird that they limit it to that. I don't think have we ever had that before? Because even the plant with its PPP on its sub weapon can still charge it. Technically, the only thing that's close to that would be the Methus, but even it has a charged version of the PPU.
Okay, well, I'll try to remember to link the video into the description, but shout out to the guy who has this up and a 3. Now I've found this video, so hopefully I can not kill my computer. Come on, there we go. Okay, so
Gaza E, baby.
Full disclosure, I can't hear you guys. Just in case anyone's trying to say anything. My headset died.
Yo, that's true.
His
So
headset died.
Koraz
No.
brought out something.
So
He's
here
like,
it
hey,
is.
you know what else is in the same timeline as the Zeku? The Gaza E. Yo.
Dude, yes.
I'm
But
ready.
so I've got gameplay of it up right now.
Mhm.
There's the 3 burst. It staggered the DJ in front of it. The gun actually shows pretty good overheat. Got the grenade, which is fantastic. It's got its club, and looks like its melee damage is solid on generals. So you're gonna hit 2K pretty easily on it. So I could see a club into a downswing, grenade into a downswing. Do we know if it has balancer? I know emblems.
I do know it has 2 priority. That was a big thing.
Wait,
We
it
were
does have
talking
2?
about
I
the
thought
other day.
emblem said it had 1.
I was looking at it. I think Ashi, when he was looking at it, he's like, "Yeah, it's got 2 priority."
I was gonna say I know there's some screenshots. People have posted screenshots of its stuff. Let's see. Where we at? Aw.
Mm.
They didn't show that it has space specialization. No, come on. Come on, screenshot people. You done goof. But yeah, the gameplay of it, like the person here does a pretty good combo. They go in, they grenade. I love that the grenade has such a crazy fast ready up time.
Mm.
So it does combo well together with this. Yeah, we'll do that again.
I'm pretty sure this is all Sentinel, right? In terms of like what this is representing, these suits.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Sorry,
but you
Blaze
can
is
get
asking in chat.
the beam rifle has its sub weapon has actually that's pretty good damage. Let's go back and look at that again.
I can hear you guys again.
Cool.
Hey, welcome back.
So I've just been showing the video here and kind of talking about it. But it looks pretty solid with what it can do. The club is still really long to ready up, but you have a grenade that is like that for ready up time, so that's pretty nice. So you do have a good
Yeah, I'm guessing it's the underrail.
yeah. 1,700 damage on a training general for its sub weapon, and you can fire that. You can pop that off 3 times because it's 0.8 second ready up time or cooldown time for it. So you're just like boom, boom, boom. I don't know what's the stagger ratio on its sub weapon. That's my big question because I know it's
The beam
50.
5%.
Really? Damn. I was hoping that would be like a solid, like 35 or something, but just 5,
Most
really?
beams are pretty low though. Like
Yeah, that's
I feel like
true.
there's only a few outliers where it's higher, but most of the time beams are pretty low.
I was hoping since it was kind of like a main, like it's actually says Xekueins beam rifle, so I was like, could this be like a solid stagger option? But no. Okay, so it's just a damage output. So you'll want to
Yeah,
shoot,
you're
stagger, then pop
farming
them.
damage.
Yeah, so the combo is either I would say save your grenade launcher probably because what's the damage on the grenade?
950.
Okay, so
Stagger
probably
value 65.
that's not too bad. So probably save your grenade option for when you really need it. Then use your main beam weapon, get the stagger, and then follow up with your secondary. You can pop 2 shots real quick, probably before they can do. You can at least probably get 1 with that ready up time. Here, I pause the video. But with that kind of ready up time, and does it have balancer? That was my main question.
It doesn't look like it.
That's pretty.
It doesn't.
So it does get balancer in space, though, right?
Yeah, it has
Okay.
specialization, so it would.
So your approach is going to be a little
relevant,
weird.
though.
Say it again, Gustav. Sorry.
So it's a little bit more relevant there. Does it even have combo controller?
No.
No.
Like
So
it's
yeah,
pretty
it
bare
has
bones.
extra priority, but it still has to just rely on doing like one big swing.
It's got all the buffers in the world, but it
It has extra buffers than the 3, I think, too, right?
Yeah, which is kind of interesting, but that's about all of its options. It's normal support stuff like frontline, so you can get the cooldown for deploying again. That's kind of nice. Overall, I think what you've been seeing where people aren't doing stuff is like that combo that the guy just did there, where he went main gun into secondary into grenade stagger Because it looks like you can pretty much, where the cooldown and switch time is so good, like, that's pretty solid how fast it goes. So, like, you could probably do main gun into secondary beam into grenade and probably actually get another stagger off quick enough. Maybe? No, I kind of want to look at that again. Does he do this? This is on its second one. But that's the kind of funny thing. Like, right now, I don't know if this is one of those things, like, I feel like Zusa players right now, most of the time, I know we've already talked about the Zusa a couple of times, but here, I'm going to pause right before he goes into this combo. But I feel like a lot of Zusa players that I see don't utilize what they could do, and they kind of end up falling a little short.
With the Zissa in particular, it just has a lot of stuff going on too. So a lot of people tend to just focus on one aspect. So like a lot of people do the zoning, right? They do
Yeah.
the cluster bombs so that people either move away or catch that stun, and they just do all their work at range. But technically, and I have seen it happen, people will go in there for the melee and just jam people with that saber once they actually do some of their damage from range and mix it up a lot.
Yeah, I feel like the Zusa is one of the examples where you have to utilize all the weapon swaps. And I feel like probably what we're seeing is somebody just being like, I'm just going to use the main gun. Pew, pew, pew. Because what is that damage? I can't actually see. They're hitting for 1,000.
The main gun is 900 945 base, and the secondary is 1050 and 1102.
So on the main gun, on a Dija training, they're hitting for 1,440 damage per like of the triple shot. So that's about, let's just say, 3,000 every time you shoot that. And it looks like with the cooldown, my thing is with the cooldown, how fast are they getting back to shooting that?
Yeah, this
'Cause
one's
it's
a
a
little bit more
3-second
unknown to us
cooldown.
just because none of us have it.
I feel like it's almost impossible. Like, if you're actually properly comboing, I feel like it's impossible to overheat the main gun. I mean, eventually you will, but from the looks of it, it's got a pretty solid with the cooldown. So every 3 seconds, you can do about 3,000 damage to something, which is kind of nice.
Like, Durga.
The range isn't bad either. It's 600.
Yeah. So
Holy shit.
yeah,
Not bad, he says. That's pretty impressive for the fact that it's a burst, too.
yeah. So, and since you can stagger most normal non-damage control suits,
Mhm.
it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad at all. Like, no, only a few weapons like are better than that I can think of, and this like the main one that comes to mind is like the beam sniper rifle and the Zaku one sniper.
Mm.
I think I think this suit's gonna be really good at 550. It's just an option. Again, you're dealing with the MLRS, but like the combo here, the dude goes to the beam, shoots, and okay, you're gonna be able to boost. So maybe not. Maybe you have to go a little bit faster. But it looks like you can
Mm.
almost do like the main weapon to the sub beam to the grenade, and then do a downswing. At the very least, you can do the main weapon to a grenade to a downswing.
Mm.
On especially a support, or if you get hit by a raid. But that way you can break their maneuver armor. If they have damage control, then oops. You're gonna have to do a little bit extra. Which is kind of a bummer that the sub beam weapon doesn't have enough stagger to break damage control. I mean, the grenade technically does at that point, but that's kind of a bummer that you have to go in that direction. What's the club's stagger ratio?
80, just like the Type 3.
Okay, so you could probably lead with that if you can,
Well, it would be hard to
500
set up though,
IQ.
because I mean you're still main firing 35s per like on for each beam in your burst. So if like for whatever reason if you lead in front of those, as long as you don't miss like 2 out of 3, if that, you're gonna stun somebody. So
Well, I mean, the club has
it
such
seems
a
to cover
long
that
ready
base.
up time. Is the problem with the club though?
Well, yeah, but I mean, even with the grenade launcher, um, you're still kind of in the same boat.
It's 60%, right?
Yeah, 65 to be exact. So as long as you hit with one of your burst, you'll stagger most mobile suits.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's not too bad. I mean, you should stagger most mobile suits anyway. I mean, this is again the maneuver armor situation, so you wouldn't stagger them with the grenade normally. So as long as they don't have damage control, you should be able to break maneuver armor with just one. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the idea of like damage control versus maneuver armor, and you being actually more vulnerable if you're leaning on your maneuver armor in some suits.
I will say though, this is pretty solid damage. I mean, it looks good for to hear people not doing well with it. I'm kind of surprised. It looks like it has a lot of damage. It feels like just a better. Oh, what is that? Oh, I'm low right now. I need to eat something.
Magnum cybernetic augments are beeping at them.
But yeah, I feel like we'll see people who get used to this and do well, kind of like the Jaeger did. I just feel like this is a higher cost Gyogu Jaeger at this point. That's a bit more maneuverable, which is kind of funny that the Gyogu Jaeger is actually really slow, since in the show and everything, it's supposed to be
It's like
insanely
the super
fast.
high end, like crazy thing.
I'm just
Who
saying.
actually piloted a Jaeger in the show though? Because most of the ones we saw were Marine commands.
I don't know.
What was the question again?
Like who actually was piloting Jaegers in the show?
Wasn't it Seema, or was it somebody
She
else?
had a Marine
She's in
command,
a
I
Marine
remember.
command,
I don't know if
Oh,
she ever
okay.
got into Jaeger.
Which, I mean, a Jaeger is essentially a Marine command that isn't it technically better spec-wise than a Marine
It's
command?
supposed to be, yeah, because it's like the end. It's like the end game for it.
With that pesky Char, probably. Just blame everything on Char.
But yeah, after seeing it kind of in action, I guess if it doesn't penetrate, there's that. If it does, then that's insane. I guess the good thing is you got a decent stagger that you can build up on somebody. I like how fast it fires. So
it'll be interesting when it becomes more common. I still wonder if they're gonna do the Type 1 at some point. If it actually is gonna just be their raid that they bust out by itself when they figure out what it's hopefully less than bare bones loadout becomes solidified. It probably will be bare bones if they ever do it though.
yeah, it's probably gonna be bare bones. And here's my prediction though. I feel like with how much health the Type 3 has, it's either gonna have even more health, like the what they did with the Cubile. But I feel like at that cost, at 650, by the way, I do want to have this as a topic next week since we're kind of pushing time here. But I want to talk about 650 because we're getting a 650 suit next week. I really want to talk about the health values at 650, and I feel like every time we get something at 650, except for like the 7th, because I actually have some of those, but I want to look at suits. I don't have any suits that have been stepped up, gained levels essentially to 650, other than the 7th and the MLRS. And I feel like the scaling for the 7th and the MLRS is kind of like almost Mudrock scaling, but not as bad, of course.
That's also because those two are a little bit more like.
Well, the 7th feels Mudrock.
Mudrock.
I mean, 7th feels Mudrock because it just feels like they're just doing barely enough. But the MLRS gets 5,000 health on its shield every time it goes up, or it's 2,500 or something like that. Either way, it gets a ton of health on its shield.
Pretty much a large shield plus worth.
Yeah, every time it levels. Oh, sorry, it's 2,500 per level. So that's insane. So like, Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. While I'm thinking about it, I grabbed a taco.
A taco.
Yeah, but the
Ooh.
so yeah,
Ooh.
I mean, you actually get some decent scaling for the MLRS because of the shield, really. But other than that, its stats are pretty just typical. And I wonder though, every new suit, like look at the A1, right? It goes from 18,000 health, I think, to 20,000 health. And the
That's
Cubile
too
Mark
bad.
II is a good example. Well, how much health does it have? Is it just straight 20,000 or is it 22?
I think it's just.
I'm trying to I feel like when I saw somebody put parts on it, it had like 22,000 or something like that. But how
It
much
probably
is
is
the
just straight
Cubile?
20 then.
Yeah, I think it's
I'd
20.
have to wait till I get out of the match because I can't. I'm doing.
I didn't know if Emblem would know off the top of his head.
21,500.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Like that kind of health is kind of insane, especially since it actually still has the buffer and the normal one doesn't.
And it's they didn't pay the raid tax on that one. That's the one exception we had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like the 650 is okay. I'm gonna eat a taco. Calm down. I feel like the
Let's not be no Edie.
650 stuff doesn't pay the raid tax, or they know how much damage is there and they are compensating. Which is funny because really what was there was really just the Cubile. Is what was kind of causing that damage problem. So I wonder if we'll see like if they nerf the Cubile's damage ever, will we see like some health nerfs or what? Like I feel like raid is actually a pretty strong suit in 650. So I wonder, is this like either just the 650 thing? And I want to talk about this, so let's not get too much into it. But I definitely want to talk about that next week pretty heavily. Is this just a 650 thing, or are we going to start seeing a new outlook on some raids? Because if you look at some stuff, like the Dwaj, it has a ton of health, right? It's a pretty thick, tanky suit. So my point is like the A1, for instance, is not a thick suit, but it has a crazy amount of defense. So I just wonder if we start seeing that up at 650, or is this going to be a new trend for certain raids? So I think the Xekueins might be like I think it would be silly if it has like 22,000 or like 23,000 health at 550. I think that would just be awesome. So, but anyway, any thoughts on what possibilities we have for the Xekueins 1, or what do you think about the Xekueins 2? Because I think I've already said what I think about the 2. So final thoughts, and then we'll quickly go through the patch notes.
If Gustav doesn't have anything, I'll say I kind of wonder if maybe, and just maybe, the Xekueins Type 2 might be kind of maybe when you're ready to take off the MLRS training wheels a little bit with the shield, you you might look into using the Type 2. And I don't mean necessarily that the Type 2 is better per se. It might even have more damage output, but it looks like the stun potential is pretty similar. And unlike the MLRS, which mainly relies on its 3 burst volley, which is pretty strong, and its Vulcans, you just have you have a long range 3 burst, FU gun that staggers any 100, stagger build up suit just off of a burst, and it doesn't seem like it overheats too terribly fast. So it seems like you have a decent amount of maneuverability. You peel relatively easily. You have a lot of good options um, for doing stuff. The melee damage on the saber doesn't seem too bad either. Whenever it comes up, all things considered, and then you have two backup options that act as an instant stun and deal pretty reasonable stagger build up. Maybe in the off case where like the guy with damage controls closing in and you need a little extra stagger to seal the deal. Like I kind of wonder if just maybe it lives in a world where the more like the supports that are more competent and the support players are more competent and they're ready to kind of like move on from the bulky shield and somewhat limited options
Mm.
to get more stuff and maybe even potentially have more damage output, possibly because they have things that they can constantly be doing. Whereas like I feel like sometimes in MLRS you can kind of go through your kit really quickly and you're just kind of docking or relying on your downswing. Whereas this one feels like it always have something to do. But I don't know. It's interesting.
That was kind of the thing with the Jaeger, is that it just had an overwhelming amount of damage at its base cost. Like, I was seeing at the time some people hitting like 150, 160, or even 180k damage at the end of games where they were just really just playing nothing but the Jaeger. And then we had just better stuff come out. Or people just go back
Yeah.
to playing only the Mudrock. And I thought it was interesting that where better stuff that just was more mobile and could just counter the Jaeger not having a shield or not having utility, just kind of pushed it out, even though its damage was pretty overwhelming at the time, and it still is at 450. Like, nothing's really changed with it. Like, when it first came out, though, it sucked. Like, it was just trash. But then they buffed the gun and made it amazing, and then they buffed the range of its sub-weapon, and so, you just had all this option to just keep firing, and as long as you could do beam management, it was just tons of damage. So yeah, I could see it just being the Jaeger 2.0, but the question is the MLRS just has so much damage output just doing its base, like I've been saying with just, like, does other stuff have better damage options? And it's like, yeah, but you can full damage, but the MLRS can still hit 100k just by using its missiles and its Vulcan, and then a downswing every now and then when you get a good stagger combo.
So a tick is in my game. I can kind of see that. And that's why I'm really interested to see how well this
Sorry about that.
gets by in its cost range. Because right now it seems like it's kind of like not there. But I feel like once more people get it, more importantly, over even just like figuring it out more, we'll probably see some better like applications of it.
After talking about the suits, I stand by my comment about the pulling on the banner or not. No raids here, not interested.
Right. Wah, wah.
But yeah, so I don't know if it will have the damage, but it might be a viable option at the very least. Okay, so let's see. We kind of already talked about the banner a little bit, so we'll go ahead and hop into the patch notes though. So I need to go get a drink because I'm coughing over here. So 1 sec.
Yeah, do it up.
But let me go ahead and get into the patch notes, pull up the we'll talk about the G-Line banner real quick. Let me pull this up. This one. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Okay, so G-Line banner. They go ahead and talk about the G-Lines, guys. I'll be right back.
They sure are G-Lines. The bigger thing, and I'm not super sure about, is where that actually puts them cost-wise for being boosted there.
Sorry, Gustav, what was that?
The cost range for the new G-Line bumps, I'm not actually sure where they're at now.
Oh, they're at 550.
Okay. That's kind of interesting. I feel like the light armor can probably stand up there. Standard might have a hard time unless it's just doing its basics. I feel like trying to get in there with those smashes unless they're already underground is going to get it in trouble.
Yeah, I kind of feel you there too. I think I personally think the best G-Line suit is the light armor.
Yeah, especially since it has a good rifle, it has the missiles, so it can actually do that stuff on the move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is something that people covet on the Jarja as it is. So it's kind of at home there.
Yeah, because it
Even if
lacks
it
the
can't, like,
awkwardness. Or good.
actually, yeah, I agree with that too, because like it's cool that you can cycle through stuff like the Jarja, right? But it's a little rough to get used to. This is a lot more straightforward, and it has all that potency in its actual weapon because it's not spreading it out between two. So it'll probably be more consistent.
I feel like I was more of relating to the Salt G line. I don't think the standard can hold a candle to the Jarja. Like the downswing on a bayonet's a tad bit awkward, but like I don't think there's a raid in the game that is as consistent as the Jarja. Like I think the Jarja is like easily one of the most consistent raids in the game. Just because you can set up easy and you can kill fast.
That's true.
I completely agree.
There's another thing that I wonder about. What raid suit kind of suffers the least from raid life, right? Because I feel like, yeah, it can do that. How often do they get to do that though, compared to other suits?
I mean,
all you gotta do, I feel like it's pretty easy.
With the Jarja, like my thing is I don't play it often. So if I do plan on playing it, especially if I'm trying to climb rating, normally I do it off stream, unless I get requested to play the Jarja. Then I just do it. Or if I'm just feeling froggy, I do it. But normally when I'm off stream,
people request you to play the Jarja.
Yeah, I'm a support main. I'm
You
like,
always
oh,
make me
this
play supports
sucks.
in, like, general.
This sucks. Oh, why? Why do I have to play the Jarja?
They'll do it.
Like, yeah. So it's one of those things that I'm just like, well, it's a good suit. I just suck at the game. But yeah, which is funny because then I play something like the Dawn Barrage and they're like, and people are like, how?
How are you doing this?
Like, I'm pretty sure it was Jonah who was in my chat and was like, why did you just modify the Dawn Barrage? Like, I don't know what kind of tone, but I just would imagine it was just like, why?
I was disappointed.
Why would like there was some disappointment thing like that, or like it was just like amazement.
Like, why would you touch that suit for that? It's a waste of resource, dude. What are you, dumb?
But then I'm just like,
what are you, stupid? And then he's like, how the fuck?
But like, yeah, but most people who like see the Dawn Barrage when I play it, it's just like, I mean, it just clicks, man. I don't know. It like, I'm always a one trick. Like,
it's just a really weird one trick.
Like that's how, like I said before, that's how I've ended up on some teams, is because like I've just been so good at doing this one thing, and then they're like, okay, well your one trick got banned. What else you got? And I'm like, okay, time for me to play like 20 hours a day just to get good enough so I can not get yelled at. Like, for real though. So it's just one of those things. So like when I get requested the Jarja, I'm like, oh no, I gotta actually play the game proper.
Video games.
I gotta play video games. No, man, come on.
But
if you dual wielding sodas, hold up.
Yes, I am right now, man. I am okay. So real quick, when your sugar is low, it is one of the weirdest and worst feelings ever. Because like right now, the reason why I'm kind of talking fast and repeating a little bit is I'm like shaking, and yeah, it's a little awkward. So yeah, sugar's low right now. I can feel it. I'm sweating, and I drink. I might have more. This might not just be dual wielding. There might be a couple more here. So
maybe like two fisting a couple of these.
Yeah, and like the goose wings. Honk! Oh,
chug.
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's what I'm trying not to do right now. But the thing is, I just have this overwhelming thirst. Like,
is it like dry mouth or just like?
No,
Just act full.
it's like I want to drink everything. It's not dry.
Mm,
It's like I just have this feeling to drink everything I can. And
yeah,
I also feel the same thing a little bit on eating. I could just eat right now and not stop if I wanted to.
but that's not a good idea either.
Yeah, that's not something I want to do. But if I ever have leftover like meat that I need to get rid of or something, and I'm low, then it's like, okay, cool. I've been needing to eat this, and it's just dry.
The stars
no.
have aligned, bitches. Let's
Yeah,
go.
like I can actually utilize this for something. This horrible feeling, but yeah. But once this balances out, but that's why I'm dual wielding. Okay, there's my explanation.
Yeah,
So
I
here in a
get it.
second, I'm about to chug all of these. Actually, if you want to go back on your chug, I'll do it.
All right, chug, 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 chug. Let's fucking go, chug, chug.
So I need the
Oh,
wings.
Well, then I can't see. Hey, get it, chug, 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 chug.
Don't do the wings.
Yeah,
I just looked. I just looked at you supposed to do it with the wings. I about just like I got like just through a little bit, and it about just went all over my computer.
Oh, no.
I just looked at the cameras and I
Towel,
was like, oh,
towel,
no.
towel. Oh god.
Anyway, by the way, though, on a side note, the reason why I have these, like, I normally only buy cans because most of the time that's where the deals are at. But I've been using the Walmart pickup thing where so that way you don't have to go in and they just put it in your trunk and you just drive away, and it's fantastic because no contact.
Actually, I haven't done that yet. Usually, I do deliver.
Yeah, so I've been doing that, so that works out really well. Just because it's mainly the grocery thing, and then there's some deals with that. Now delivery, you can get some other deals, and which they're pretty good about doing things. But the thing is, they didn't have the normal Pepsi Max or Pepsi Zero Sugar now, as it's called, and so instead of just one like 12-pack, whatever I got, one case, they gave me like 3 6s of these, 3 or 4.
Nice.
Yeah, the way they do substitutes is kind of weird.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they like if they ever substitute, you get more than what. Like they substituted my turkey, and I got a more expensive turkey, and they gave me like half a pound or a fourth a pound more.
That's kind of cool.
And I was just like, okay.
Is it because it's a different grade or just because they're in quantity?
I guess it's just because it's a different. Like technically, it costs more, so it's technically higher quality. So it's like, so I get better, more expensive, and they give me a little bit more just because they're substituting. Like it's weird. They don't care to give you a little bit more. I mean, they're making a ton of markup anyway on everything they sell. So it's like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
That's how business works.
Yeah. The thing is, they're just like, oh, here, by the way, we'll give you this a little bit more, so we move product, and we're still making a decent profit.
Moving and grow, especially with stuff that's perishable too, right?
Yeah. So they're doing. Like it's cool. I'll take it. I mean, I get more for what I would even pay, and then I get the substitute.
I will say they did do a little bit of sacrilege with one of their substitutes for me before. I was trying to get that that orange vanilla Coke or whatever because I thought that was really good. I was getting a 12-pack.
Yes,
and they gave me the zero.
Gustav,
they
my man.
Substituted it, and they gave me fucking the zero sugar. I was like, you motherfucker.
But hey, my man, thank you, thank you. Everybody, everybody's like, because the thing is, I get diet, of course, but
right. So you get the zero sugar for sure.
But I get the zero sugar, but the orange vanilla. Like everybody's like, what in the world is this orange vanilla?
Man, it's so good.
Wait, what?
I went at Jack in the Box today. It's so good.
My man, right there. Here we go. Here we go. Like, I'm pretty sure I had that once, like, even somebody in chat was like, ooh, that's gross. And I'm like, dude, this stuff is amazing.
It's awesome. Man, I was mixing that in our freestyle machines at the theater before there was a button for it.
Oh, shit, let's go.
Dude, by the way, pro tip, guys, pro tip.
A true
hashtag could be an ad. Metamucil, man. Like, great stuff. Like, I get an orange, I get a vanilla Coke, and they just mix that in. There's my orange. And it's the same thing, essentially. And yeah, so when I have that, that's how I end up taking that most of the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just mix in the vanilla Coke, and then it's an orange vanilla Coke. Boom.
That probably helps with some of the zero sugar taste too, I would assume.
A little bit. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, that doesn't really have any carbs in it, so. But
Oh god, it's an Isaac with the beam rifle.
so they kind of help each other out. But either
course.
way, point being, orange vanilla. Let's go.
Yep, Team Orange Vanilla. I'm down.
That's that good shit.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so there's that tangent out of the way.
Is that gonna be another pineapple on pizza like conundrum now?
Oh
Hey,
no.
Pizza's great.
Orange.
Yes. Okay. And I'm finally starting to balance out. I can feel it after. Yeah.
As long as
That's
no one
good.
asks if a hot dog is a sandwich.
Oh no.
See, a hot dog is a
See,
peanut
that's
butter.
not even like.
See, the thing is,
No,
okay,
no.
I'm going back to my peanut
No,
butter
no,
and jelly
no, no,
sandwich.
no.
My peanut butter and jelly sandwich hot dog.
The G lines are doing fine.
Yeah, the G line light just flipped, dude, isn't it?
Okay, but for real though, real
They
talk,
might
real
be a little
talk.
bit dated.
They look like little Power Rangers all lined up. Oh,
Yeah, they do look really cool. I'm not gonna lie, they do look really cool.
that art is fucking rad.
Yeah.
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 I actually really like that cover art.
But okay, so real talk though. Back to the topic. Tangent over. I believe I caused this one. I am sorry. I apologize. But anyway, the what you said though with the Georgia at this point, they're level 4s. They're 550. The 2 raids. I mean, the Georgia's there. I love the BST myself. Wait, that's 500. Never mind. Whoops. But the Georgia's there at 550. What else do we have at 550 that's good? We have the Night Seeker V, don't we?
I believe so, yeah.
And what else do we have at 550? That I mean, I like the GBO2, of course, but results may vary on that one. So the thing is,
There's a Pixie.
they would probably be in comparison with like the GBO2 is how I would feel. Like they'd be around that level. Like definitely the S tiers are the Night Seeker and the Georgia, and I think the Georgia is probably the most consistent, like you said. There's
I think that
also
would be a nice pick. The Assault probably won't be able to compete too terribly well. The lack of follow up, I think, is going to hurt it too much.
yeah, I mean the level 4 shotgun. Do we get a level 4 shotgun now?
They should, right?
I thought we had.
Yeah.
Did we have them before? Oh no, for the other
No.
one. Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we've only got a level 3. The level 3 G line full custom is 550, and yeah. So, but overall, I think it's one of those things like you can make it work. It's decent. They'll be solid, but they're definitely like A tier. Where I say the S tier stuff is the Georgia, and maybe even the Striker custom. I don't know how I feel about that one anymore.
Striker custom feels like it's more effort to do the same thing pretty freely.
Yeah, the crazy thing with the Georgia is again. Oh yeah, before I was dual wielding drinks.
Yeah, Bob was a good option too. Thank you, Jonah.
Oh yeah, I forget about the Bawu.
Bawu.
My thing with the Bawu though is if you're fighting an MLRS, the Bawu doesn't really do well against the MLRS. Like,
it wouldn't set up stagger easy though.
I mean, I eat Bawus for breakfast. I don't know. Like, I haven't found really a Bawu.
It's hard to say. I haven't played one yet, so I'm not sure.
Like,
I've seen Blaze do some crazy shit in a Bawu though.
Okay, I need to find
that's
more.
From the principle of like using those missiles really hard because they reload and ready up really fast, right? And you're actually able to stun with very few of them because they're being shot out in tandem with each other. So doing that along with your other like setups as you're closing in for like the extra like finisher or whatever, it seems like it should be pretty
well, the only Bawu that I've run into, and this was when we were practicing with Emblem's group, was Lotus in his Bawu.
Oh, Christ.
The thing is, though, is he was actually hitting me to stagger me with a beam. So he was doing the option of getting good.
Right, because he probably is used to getting around that fridge door anyway with
Yeah.
beams. Because that's shit you got to do with the Shiki and all this other shit.
But the thing is, but his combo was knock me down and then missile my legs or
Yeah.
kill me with the missiles. So that, you know, it can one combo easy, but the thing is you have to do the get good option. I haven't really seen one that has had a really good option for, oops, I hit your shield. Because then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, what do I do now?
Well, now you're staggered, now you're knocked down, and I'm running away calling, support me, help. Right? So normally I can take one out or just not, or laugh at them if
I mean,
they
definitely
miss their shot.
don't sit on that that shield beam either. Because that's another good one to get in there.
Yeah, I've been burned by it a few times too.
Now when I get hit,
options.
when I get hit in the back straight up with the beams, that is gross, dude. Like that is like half to 75% of my health with one shot.
That's the principle of your suit, though. Like, you only got under the shell. Well, goodbye, fucker.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's my issue with the Bawu. Is mostly you're probably going to be dealing with an MLRS, and it you have to. So far, I haven't really seen any option other than the get good option, and just shoot behind the shield. Hit that right shoulder. Yeah, right shoulder. I was like, wait, which way is the face? But yeah. But yeah, the Bawu is pretty solid. I want the Bawu though. I love shooty suits, so I definitely get in there with that.
It's a shooty suit that can bully too, and that's kind of the cool thing about it.
But
because they can just get in there and just smack a dude.
Really, that's interesting.
That's what he thinks.
It's got that versatility and survivability on it too. It's got a good round out.
I still think the Jarja is
probably really good. I've been on the receiving end.
Yeah, that is solid. I don't know. I still think I might favor the Jarja a little bit just because it's ease of access. As far as
the Jarja is like what the Doge players probably wish their shit could do without having to line themselves up for the scoop. I feel like once those players saw the Jarja, they were like, "It's beautiful."
Yeah, I mean, what the crazy thing with the Jarja is, all you do is like you literally for the MLRS, you're just like shoot. Okay, you're staggered, then downswing. Like that's the crazy thing. Its swap speed is so good that you just literally just downswing 3 times before somebody.
That is something they've gotten better about too. Is just like the cycling on suits is just a lot more important now. It's how many tools they have. So busting a player's balls for like wanting to go through their cycle, isn't something they can do anymore.
But anyway, final thoughts on the G. Well, I guess we should talk about the standard. You guys think the standard holds up at that cost?
I wanted to because I really love the idea of the Gatling smashers, and it can do a lot of the basic stuff that a general should do with the initiate into smacking around and all that shit, but there are other suits that just do it a lot better at that cost with less kit. So, no.
Yeah, that's kind of sadly, I think, the case. The last question I have, really, this might be the nail in the coffin on what I think about these suits. Emblem, what's their health scaling and stuff? Normally, the health kind of is telling of how they scale each suit. Because if it's just this 500 nonsense, they've mud-rocked it, and then like at that point, it's kind of like, okay, cool. They do get the complex expansion slot level 2 fully upgraded, but that's normally not enough to save a suit.
So the assault at 550 has 17,500 HP. The light armor has 15,000, and that's a 1,000 HP increase between each level for the light armor. Same for the assault. And the standard has interesting. The standard has 18,000. But it's kind of interesting in regards to its HP scaling, because from 1 to 2 it gets 1,000, but from 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4 it gets 2,000 more HP per level.
Oh wow! Okay, so it does have scaling. Interesting.
That's
Fix the mud rock. Sorry, that is all.
I mean, it's true though.
Okay, but yeah. So I could say yeah, these are sound pretty good. They're decent. They're solid. They're standard.
They're doing.
But okay. Any other final thoughts?
Mm. I would say you probably shouldn't be too mad if they end up on your team, but just understand that unless they're like veterans of the suit, they're probably gonna struggle a little bit.
I guess too, since there's a banner, would you spin on the banner?
No.
Yeah, my answer is no too.
This is coming from me as someone who's had these. If someone has like a genuine interest in them, then like fuck it.
Yeah, if it's your
They're-
suit kind of thing, then
Mhm.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't either. Unfortunately, I think it's something that you just kind of want to get while you're rolling for other stuff, but not really go out of your way for.
okay. So moving on.
They didn't drop the rarity. That's interesting.
That is actually interesting. It's because we were talking about that yesterday, but I don't think we got an answer in chat.
Oh yeah, they're 2 stars.
Huh. I actually didn't look at that on the item list the other day.
Yeah, let's talk about the step up. I think we kind of mainly covered it already, but
Yeah.
just again going over it. So if you're, what was our consensus? Essentially, if you're a new player, probably really good, or if you're missing certain suits, specifically 2 stars, looks like.
Mhm.
Like if you have the tokens lying around, that third step kind of. If I had the tokens lying around, I might do the third step. But
Considering how hard they lean on 2-star, I think they're a little self-aware about their bloated 2-star problem.
oh yeah. Let's see. I was looking to see what the unacquired okay, cool. So it is just it says obtainable materials is just from the current supply drop lineup.
That would suck if it's like the entire pool.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering though if it would be if you had an unacquired, like if you had the entire pool unacquired kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't like it as much if it was the entire pool.
Yeah,
We should
I feel like they
definitely just
jerk
be
us
current
around
one.
like that
Yeah.
enough during GBO days. Like, don't do it for other events. I'll be
Please
sad.
note that if you leave a mobile suit that you have never owned in the reward window without receiving it, it will not be treated as owned, and you will draw it. Wait, maybe it is the entire pool.
Uh-oh.
Because how would you have a suit that is in your reward window that is... When have they... You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Where are
would that
you
be a
seeing
thing?
this?
Like, why would they point that out if... Because I don't think there's really anything that's actually in the supply drop pool that... Like, the actual current lineup that is...
I'm pretty sure what they mean is if you have a reward suit and Neidhart's holding on to it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
not
mean...
considered claimed.
Yeah, that's what... I mean, that's what they're
But
saying. It's not considered owned, but...
that just seems like a disclaimer, honestly.
I guess the clan suits be the only thing that would be in there right now. I guess that would work. Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I was trying to figure out what case would be there where they would really need to actually put that.
Right.
But I guess that would be the clan suits would be the only thing that is up currently. Okay. Anyway. So yeah.
So yeah, the step banner is pretty solid. Definitely try to go for it if you can.
Now in the ticket shop, we got the Galbaldi Alpha level 3, Peasant Dewage level 3, and the Hyzak level 1 and 2. Personally, quickly for me, Galbaldi Alpha and Peasant Dewage at that cost. I think there's better. They're solid suits, but I think they're like B tier kind of thing. Kind of like if you like them, there you go. And if you want to try them, get the lower levels. I believe both of those. Well, the alpha I think is probably the only one that might not be in the DP store, but I'm pretty sure the alpha's in the DP store.
Level 2.
Is the level 1 and 2 in the DP store for the alpha?
I'm pretty certain the level 1 at the very least is in there. It's
Yeah.
been out for quite some time. But I couldn't say for sure on level 2, but I'm pretty confident level 1 is there.
But you could at least try it that way. But yeah, any thoughts on those two from you guys?
They're bad. Like Alpha gets double dodge. It has a couple of stun options. Pezun doesn't have double, but it has its bazooka beam and has a good stagger option while dashing. Just has general solid dom play style, so it's not a bad suit to kind of pick up and play with if you need something at that cost and you don't have any like other really like power suits. It's not bad, not at all.
Yeah, there's been
It's
a
not
little
broken.
bit of
I guess the main one here is the high Zach is kind of my focus personally. I think the level 1 pretty awesome. Level 2 when you get to 450 is kind of where I think you might run into some issues with the high Zach just because there's a few extra options. And personally, I like the high Zach machine gun over the beam rifle that you can use. But its axe claps, that's for sure.
Let's get in there and slap them.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the high Zach? Would you spend your? I think where it's 2-star. I don't know how many tickets it costs, but I think the high Zach is a pretty solid suit if you need a 400 for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like that one I could recommend.
Don't do as I do. Just use the bazooka or some shit, but it definitely slaps. The axe is one of those kind of revivals of the FS being a thing in terms of it just being able to slap shit for really good damage.
So yeah, I could recommend the high Zach level 1, I guess, is the main thing here. Would you guys recommend any of them to buy for tickets?
Tickets? If you're really hurting for like things at that cost, or you just really want to try something a little different while still being pretty consistent, I'd say that's a good one. It all depends on like what kind of tickets you're sitting on though. But like outright, no. Just because it feels a little too standard to like throw tickets out for.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, if you need a 400 general, then it's pretty.
I got confirmation that the Type 2 does have Pierce Fire on its primary.
Nice.
That is insane.
That's what's up.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Okay, well that just got a whole lot better. Because if you could like throw out in a hallway, like, and the thing is, you can't stagger your teammates that way. Woo! Let's go.
Usual support problems of get out of the way teammate.
Yeah. Okay, this thing just went from like, yeah, it's solid. Hopefully, it has good damage, to like, I think we got a competitor.
We got some shit going on.
New challenger approaches.
We got some shit going on.
Okay. And in the DP store, we got the G line standard level 2. And what I was hyped about, the Grandpa Gundam level 4. Woo!
Yeah, Grandpa!
And then the Gyelgug early production. So, yeah, those are cool. I just love that the Grandpa Gundam level 4 is in. You got to hyper hammer some people for like 12k damage just on that downswing. No big deal.
Gross.
Instantly destroy shields every side swing that you do. No big deal.
Filthy ass configuration. And also along with those, the level 4 rifles.
Yes.
For the Grandpa got released, which is amazing because I've been wanting that Super Napalm level 4 for a long ass time.
I think I still need the level 5 is the one I don't have.
Yeah, I think so too for me, but I'm hyped because I actually had the 4 grandpa and I do use it once in a while. So
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess we'll point out the clan match stuff. We got the late night one this weekend, which reminds me, I need to send out a message. I'm just going to do that right now while I'm thinking of it. Because
yep, anyone else who can make
ranks.
it in GS3, be sure to let us know in the proper channels in the Discord. We do have a team, but we could always go with 2 teams. Just saying.
Opt-ins are ready.
But yeah, late night. What is that?
4v4, I think it's 500?
8 p.m. Pacific. 500 4v4 simple battle city ruin. We're back on the ground. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Oh god, man. So glad. I thought we were actually gonna get another space one, to be honest.
And they broke the chain. No space match this time. Feels good, man. It should be pretty good. The low numbers will make it a little bit easier to get multiple teams into, kind of like Gustav's talking.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's always the bid, right? Gotta
Yeah.
try to take advantage of it on the 4v4s.
It should be good. I don't know if any of you guys were interested in doing any practice scrims. Team Tripants is always down to play.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
If you had
do
Nukes
some.
on, kind of join us in an on one Gustav.
But
Sorry, man, you about to say something?
yeah, I'm either gonna do a practice tomorrow or Saturday. So.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it tomorrow.
Well, yeah, if you need another group to play against, if you let us know when you want to do it,
Yeah.
we'd be more than happy to.
And that's
act
why
as
I'm
a
sending
sparring
this
partner.
message right now. But let's see. I guess we can go ahead and do some new suit speculation, and then we'll go ahead and do some shoutouts.
Sure, sounds good.
Oh, whoops. Wrong button. Please don't break. New suit. Okay. So what do we got? What do we think? Next week is 650 for the clan ranked.
Yeah, I think something hot next week. Personally, just touching back what I said earlier.
I'm gonna say Sentinel.
Yeah, I could see Superior, the O, maybe even Mark 5.
Ooh,
Something
the O
along
would be
those lines.
interesting. Just because we haven't gotten. You know what? It might be the O. It might be the O.
Uh-oh.
Because well, I mean, we haven't gotten a raid. We literally. What's crazy here, guys? By the way,
Yeah.
we've literally gotten a
It's been
support 3
been
weeks
like
in a
month
row.
or so.
What is
Yeah,
this?
before I saw that this was a double banner, I saw Type 2 first. I was like, oh shit, 3 weeks in a row we got this shit? I was like, oh, there's actually a general in here.
Yeah, so I mean, technically there's a general, but we got a support 3 weeks in a row. Let's go.
But it is time. It has to be a raid.
Yeah, like if it's not a raid next week, I'm gonna be really confused.
Watch it be a general.
Watch it be a general, and then yeah, it'll probably be a general, and then like so yeah, it'll probably be like the S Gundam or, and then we get the Xekueins raid next week as a like shadow suit.
Shadow suit.
That would
Oh no.
that would be interesting. Honestly, I like that they haven't been releasing any raids. I get to save. People aren't trying to play it. Everyone's playing these new supports. It's like free points, man. It's great.
Dude, that's why I love like when the Doven Wolf came out, it was literally nothing but Doven Wolves on every team. I was just like,
god, it's just over here blend.
I was just like, I'm gonna eat them for breakfast. Let's go, missiles. Boom, boom, boom.
snacks for me.
I will say though, I've been seeing the Doven Wolf people that are actually getting good with comboing, and
It's fucking scary.
yeah, the combos that like they've hit me with their side beams, and then finally they're like, by the way, I'm going to shoot you. You're going to be staggered again. Then I'm going to shotgun you. Then I'm going to melee you, and then I'm going to shoot you again with a beam, and then I'm going to knock you down with a downswing. And I'm like, what the? What did you
Like,
just do to me?
incom in the main gun, and then like the gut beam and all that shit. There's a lot of good follow-ups and just different ways to cycle those weapons.
Yeah, like that's a suit that I want to get and just go into a training game and just be like, okay, what can I combo? Like, that's another
I
one.
need to
Like,
practice with it
Gotta
too.
start labbing.
yeah, they keep coming out with these suits that have all these weapon swaps. And again, like I was like, I think I said on the when the Doven Wolf came out, I was like, is this a suit that is going to take some practice rotation, and is it going to be great with it? I think it is. I think that's kind of the case. I think it's gonna like you practice its rotations, and this thing will be a beast.
I forget what suit we were comparing it to, but there's another suit that's very similar that has a bit of a simpler kit by comparison. And it has a solid cycle, but like by comparison,
Zeong?
what was it?
Zeong?
I could
I
see
mean,
that.
Xeon would be.
I don't think
I
that
was
was very good.
saying the Zusa was.
Yeah, the Zissa compared to like the Dovin, which is it feels like you're playing WarioWare in a suit because you have to find all these weird like situations where these are individually like effective and then try to cycle them into each other while the match is changing. So
Yeah.
it's a little less straightforward.
Now it does have low health still, so it's still kind of squishy. You probably still
Yeah,
want
so
more.
like on top of that, you're like on a timer, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't have that much time to really barf all this out because you still need to exert that pressure so that you don't get melted.
But let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna say if it's a raid, I'm gonna say the O, and then otherwise I'm gonna say the S Gundam. Since we're staying on theme with Sentinel.
Right. Is that like the end all be all now, or are there others from Sentinel that we could pull besides like was it the Gaza E someone brought up earlier, Corez, I think? Like I wonder
Well,
how
we're
many
still waiting
more
for the
suits we could
hummingbird, you know?
still that too. What was the suit that people were saying? Like, oh, this is in, so maybe the hummingbird. That's one of the last couple suits.
The Deep Striker? I don't know.
No, I mean the ones that out of the ones that they released.
Yeah, that they've already done.
But yeah, that'd be
Sure,
cool.
sure. Although it's more so that I'm not quite understanding the question, but I'm getting parts of it because I'm hearing it through my speakers. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. Which one's gonna pay the raid tax?
Definitely the Xekueins Type 1.
Oof. That would be a very like low key, but probably smart way to do it. Like you guys did get one, and it's like a shadow suit that they just released.
Oof.
And
Yeah,
they'll
so we'll get
probably
the
still
Gundam
keep the
5.
fuel things on the arms because it'll probably have space reference. Like, oh god.
Yeah, we'll get the Zaku 5, and there'll be a Type 1 Xekueins, and like the background of the banner is like dual banner.
What's up, guys?
Oh no. Oh no.
What if
no,
they do
no,
it? What if
no,
they
no.
do it for the Zaku 3?
I think the custom's gonna be the raid version, but Zaku 3 would be interesting.
Have a bonsai explosion.
I don't think it'd be baity enough though. Like I don't think the Zaku 3 is the bait banner before
No.
Christmas. But
I didn't think Sentinel would be that baity either, but
you don't think so?
no, not compared to them finishing out Zeta.
I mean,
Well, I mean, if the O came out, I'm pretty sure people would vomit their wallets out because
Yeah.
everyone's been like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
everyone's like holding. It's not No Nut November. It's just like wait to nut until the O comes out.
I don't know. No Nut November. What about Non-Stop Nut November?
Also, poor Masala. Whenever we talk about these things, it kind of just gets buried.
Oh yeah, for real though, right? Like I think that's it's got a crazy amount of health. I didn't realize how much health it had. But I finally got it. I finally got the level 2. And I got the gun. Woo! So and after the buffs to that, like,
What
Medellin
suit are you
rifle.
talking about?
Wait. Oh, I'm talking about the Marsai.
Yeah, you are.
Damn it.
That's the Masala, not Mars.
Damn it. Oh my gosh.
I
Pause.
was like, I think I'm
hope that
just
he got
gonna
the
let him
gun.
write on this.
Never mind. Oops. Okay, well, rip. But yeah, the Masala though. Yeah. What about that? I think everybody's just like, give me the O.
Right.
Big O.
Like,
Big
big
O O O O.
big O. Dum, dum, boom.
Okay, we're done.
So I'm looking at the mobile suit list for Sentinel, and I'm like, Wait, what is this? Ooh,
Oh
there's
no,
some
here we go.
Ewok stuff.
It sounded like it said Ewok, but I'm assuming Ewok.
Ewok, whatever. Did I say Ewok? Whatever. But yeah, what is the Nero? Is that like a Nemo? Only different?
Oh, yeah. Fucking
Oh,
Cora brought that up earlier for the
dude.
Nero.
Yeah, Ewok Nero. Oh
Those
my gosh,
finally have a
it's got the same shoulder dish as the Xekueins. Okay.
Yo, real talk, if they give us that and they actually give us the ping, everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck? Why did you give it to this but not?
Well, the thing is, it actually has kind of like a big head dish, kind of like the.
Oh, it has the head dish still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd call it a dish, but it's definitely got a head.
Got a big old noggin.
A head rectangle.
It's got strong,
that's
broad
interesting.
shoulders too.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, that literally has big brain, like it looks like some kind of. Oh my gosh, that is actually intense.
It kind of looks like the Facebook custom.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, only bigger.
Oof, I hope the GM doesn't. I hope the GMFB doesn't get impacted by the antitrust.
Oh no.
Oh, the Ewok Nero has an MS girl. Let's speak my language.
Oh no. Wait, there's a narrow trainer. What?
Is it like a big brain girl too?
It is. She has the biggest dome possible.
Oh no. Is it like a giant
hat,
forehead?
but
Okay, no. I was gonna say that'd be hilarious.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me though. Like some anime girls, if they didn't have hair, would have like freaking chrome
Gigantic
domes.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't see how anyone could like Merida, man. She's like all forehead.
Yeah. I guess that's true. She's still cute though.
Oh, here we go. We'll get the crossbone to Kai or whatever. That'll be up next week. I guess I'll roll on that raid.
I suppose.
By the way, what character?
Marita Cruz from Unicorn.
Oh.
Oh, well, I was saying wrong name. Minerva as well. She has a gigantic dome.
Oh, Minerva's got a giant one for how small she is too. That shit's hilarious.
That's because they kept her head the same size as when she was a child.
Okay, but
yeah, her body didn't catch up to the rest of us. Just like, ooh.
Okay, so I guess final picks.
I already said what I was gonna say.
Give me the O or give me death. You know, maybe dig in some more of the Sentinel stuff. From the list, it seems like we got plenty of options, so it's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, there could be something crazy for a raid, but I think either I wonder if the S is just going to be a raid. That'd be crazy.
I feel like a lot of people would be mad if it was a raid.
Yes. Give us the pro tag suit for once. Stupid generals, stop giving him pro tags.
For real though,
And
right?
maybe
the
one of
BD1.
maybe one of the variants might be. Oh god, unless they're all like base only monstrosities.
Ooh, actually, that's a good point. I wonder if the Gundam Mark V.
Oh, the XS. I could see the XS maybe.
The Mark V could be a cool raid. That could be a
Oh, the Sentinel
650.
probably won't transform. That sucks.
The Deep Striker looks like it's literally in like a booster horse or like a fucking space wheelchair. It's just smushed into this whole mobile armor thing.
Apparently, the Mark V took out 3 FAZZ that was sent after it.
No, the FAZZ sucks. So, I mean, of course it did.
And then the...
Oh.
Hey! Hey!
Uh,
and then the S took out the Mark V. So, interesting.
I'm gonna say though, like between the booster unit and the other like big body one, what the hell is it? I just had it, but I think the booster unit is small enough to be justified as like a space only suit.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see the Mark V as a raid. That'd be interesting.
That'd be cool. I could see that since we already pretty much have like its other version in the form of the Dovin or whatever.
Yeah, so if it's a
I kind of
raid,
want us to get the 4 anyway for the marks.
do you think the Mark V would be 650? Think you could pull that off? Or would it just be a 600?
It'd probably just be a 600. Not to mention, it's gonna have to pay the raid tax somehow. So I don't know if you want it to be a baseline that much higher.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But
Them doing a 600, 650 wouldn't be a stretch though. Like it doesn't have to be base 600, right?
Yeah.
I will say though, I am really hyped for next week. Actually, this is one of the more exciting because I'm like, what are they gonna do? And if it's gonna be a 650, and this is gonna be the like big main like here it is kind of thing. I'm pretty hyped to see what it is. So, lastly, one last thing to point out, and then we can do some shoutouts. Next week, PvE.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, so if you haven't done your PvE stuff, get it done now.
If you've got enough of murdering 4, you can murder Puru instead.
There you go.
Puru 2, I guess, but
the PvE stuff, if you haven't done your PvE stuff and got the rewards, get it now because they should cycle over.
Start screaming in the Discords if you need partners.
Yeah, pretty much. If you need help, let somebody know.
Get those sub 3s done.
Get under 3 minutes. But anyway. Anything else, guys? Or do we want to just go into some shoutouts?
Unless, I don't think we got any other news, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay.
I hope you guys enjoyed the Game Awards.
Oh, yeah, right? But yeah, Gustav? Shoutouts?
Your favorite game didn't win because it was bad. Let's go. No.
Hey.
Love Bao.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that.
Oh shit. But Gustav 13th, Gustav_X I. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, as well as having a Discord. Playing through a lot of Yakuza right now, trying to do a marathon leading up into Like a Dragon. And then I'll be freed from the chains of Yakuza, although I gotta say, it's been really fun. So I've enjoyed my time so far. And besides that, we've just been doing a lot of GBO2 dailies. We'll be trying to get some scrims up tomorrow for clan matches because we do have a team for the one that's going to be happening in the evening. So be sure to check out that and maybe try to get into either our clan's GS3, which is capital G, capital S3, or GKN, which is capital G, lowercase k, and capital N. What about you guys?
Let's flapping my wings.
We're flapping our wings.
Well, now I get to flap because I was fucking around in training while I was saying that.
By the way, though, real quick, Aoshi says Hazel. Give me my
Not Hazel.
Not
Hazel
a Hazel
for sure.
But yeah, Emblem.
Gaming Emblem. I have stuff on YouTube, stuff on Twitch. Sometimes it's updated. Like I made a tweet a couple of days ago
Yo,
about
let's
some
go.
video game music. It was great. But still still playing Battle Operation. I need to get back it on. I've kind of been GBO2 and pretty hard, but I like to continue playing Demon Souls and Yakuza 7. I still like mess around a little bit on the side. My Koi Koi Dynasty grows offline,
Shit.
but yeah, having a lot of fun there. I need to get back. There are too many games, man.
Too
Yes.
many
I cut
games.
stuff off. Like PSO2 stuff's coming up. The new stuff is already out, honestly. But and I'm gonna try to check out some of that. Like we're at least gonna play a new game, but I would like to kind of keep active and do stuff like that. And we may or may not have a Cyberpunk playthrough in our upcoming weekend.
Ooh.
We'll kind of see based on how I'm feeling. Um, we'll let Twitch. We'll weather the Twitch donga bans
Just gotta
and kind of see, yeah, weather it
just
out, see
gotta
what
ride
happens.
out those streamer modes real hard.
Yeah, like is it safe? Is it safe for dongs? And then we'll start playing.
I mean, like, yeah, it's there's dong and there's some titty. It's yeah.
Yeah. Chad's been our pioneer so far among some of the among our crew. There has been some songs and like instances within certain scenes that they fucked up and kind of missed, but the rest seems like they've covered it pretty well.
Are you talking about like regards to the filters and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
And I'm assuming those will get
wardrobe malfunctions and stuff like that.
Oh, the
Oh,
okay.
I'm talking about DMCA as
Yeah,
well as
he was talking about the
TOS.
music.
Okay. I thought you meant like there was stuff that was getting through the filters. Like
So
that's
I
actually
haven't-
No.
funny.
There's
I haven't
songs
hit
that are
any-
getting through the filters because they're in scenes as opposed to being like the radio or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So I haven't hit any song problems yet. But as far as like the filters and stuff, my pants decided to disappear. So I was
Remember,
literally
Team No
walking
Pants, you hate
around.
to
I
see
was
it.
literally walking around, just whipping it back and
Oof.
forth. No big deal.
Dangling.
Are there how many instances of like third person view of your character is there? Because I would like to have my character be a member of Team No Pants.
Well, I literally was that character because of a bug. But you probably could
But
just
like,
actually go Team No Pants. There's no really third person. You can walk up to mirrors though.
hmm
okay, so I was supposed to watch out for mirrors.
The
Okay,
only
I just
the
don't
only
want it
third
to.
person is just car shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to get in trouble because I'm a member of Team No Pants. You know, this is when living up to my pantsless lifestyle literally might have real world consequences.
Well, I've been doing with I've been playing it with the nudity filter off. Yes, that's the right way to say it. Yes, there has
Cool.
been nudity in my game. So if something happens, then oops. I'll just point at bigger streamers. Be like, but they did it. They did it.
But they didn't know.
They got like 20,000 viewers right now. They did
I
it.
will say some of the nudity is kind of like grim too.
Oh yeah.
It's not just like all titty bars and shit. Like some of it's like in fucked up situations.
Yeah, like not to go into any spoilers that haven't already been shown out there. And really I won't even describe what the scene was, but
Yeah.
there was kind of a cut up corpse essentially. And like then
That's
there's
why
like
I
the
look
there's
at it
like the
grim.
titty hanging off to the side. You could like see the lungs where they were like, there's cybernetic stuff, so you could like see where they took out the lungs or whatever, and there was just the titty hanging off to the side. It was pretty gross. Like, yeah. So
There's a lot of body horror in this game. As you would expect. Because it's supposed to be like thematic and edgy and things like that.
Mhm.
But so anyway, sorry, yeah. tangent in the shoutout.
It's true.
But yeah, what else you got, Emblem? Or is that it?
No, that's all good.
Okay, cool. So anyway, as usual, everybody's links will be down in the description below. But I am EG Magnum, or sorry, right now Magnum Reeves. I stream on Twitch, got a Twitter, Discord, YouTube channel, stuff like that. Still trying to get my social media game better. So one day we'll actually have an Instagram and Facebook actually doing stuff and things other than just
We need to just start
existing.
blowing each other's channels up.
Pretty much.
Listen to the talking animal.
The goose.
Yes,
The wise
the
goose.
social media manager.
Yes. But
Social media goose. Oh god, am I gonna have to start doing videos like this? Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Social media goose. There we go. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing some Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, gonna be doing the clan ranked this weekend. Baldur's Gate 3 on Monday. We might be back in action for the tabletop Wednesday. I'm trying to figure out if we can get another fourth because somebody dropped out, and we're probably just gonna continue with the shorter schedule because people are working later, and so yeah, still might be on hiatus. Depends on how everybody's doing when everybody gets home and if they're exhausted or not.
Freaking responsible ass people, how dare.
But yeah, so right after this, I'm gonna be hopping into some Cyberpunk, playing a little bit more of that, and then we'll be doing that tomorrow. I don't know if I'll actually wear this and do my hair again tomorrow. Probably not at this point because it depends on how annoyed I am tomorrow morning.
How angry is Magnum?
Yeah, pretty much because my hair will be sideways and stiff as anything else.
Just like poking him, like,
It's like stabbed into my bed and like, no, my pillow.
So, Magnum.
There goes another
What I'm
$20.
hearing is that you're going to be a Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyajin.
You're going to be angry and have stiff hair. That sound about right?
Super Saiyan in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Leave us a comment down below of what you thought about what we talked about in this episode. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.